This report is sponsored by Big O Tires. Hit the road with savings from Big O Tires through September 22nd. Get $60 in rebate savings on sets of 4 Michelin tires totaling $900 or more. Get $40 in rebate savings when you spend under $900. Installation required. Details go to bigotires.com. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. On Fox Sports 910.
D-backs, they finished off a 3-game sweep of the Boston Red Sox with a 7-5 win yesterday at Fenway. They returned home to battle the Mets and Dodgers this week. Big week for them. Cards closed out a winless preseason with a blowout up to the Broncos yesterday in Denver, 38-12. Welcome in Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B out here at Casino, Arizona at the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona, where we'll be on Monday nights. Starting in 2 weeks. So we're getting close, 10 days away from the NFL season getting underway, and we are ready to go. We're going to get in a lot of football talk today, as, of course, we'll break down the Cardinals game. We'll also tell you how you can participate in some of the football promotions we have going on. Rudy Carpenter set to join us today, Craig Fooey, as well as Frank Sanders. So all of them scheduled to join us at some point this afternoon. But let's dive right into the D-backs as they are just on fire. I think everyone who is following this team, and why wouldn't you? They are the hottest team in baseball, and they have won 20 of their past 25 games. They've won 11 of their past 12 series, and suddenly, you wonder if they could pass the LA Dodgers this weekend, because they can. They have been creeping on them, and here they are. They are hot, and they're hot at the right time, and if they can continue this is going to definitely help them as the postseason gets closer. But a big part of that is Geno Suarez, and what he has been able to do over the course of the last month and a half. He has clearly been the difference maker. And Major League best, 45 RBIs. He was just hitting just under 200. And some fans were saying, release him. Well, here we are in the final week of August, and this guy is on absolute fire. And what a weekend he had. And we'll start off with some sound. Here's the Grand Slam on Friday.
Ball, left field, and that one is gone into the monster seats for a grand slam.
And one thing that I thought was funny, Steve Berthiaume said it was a wicked grand slam, which I thought was really cool.
Really wicked.
And then, of course, that's Friday. He has 5 RBIs. He's 3 for 5. Saturday, he delivered a 2-run double off the Green Monster, which was a big, decisive hit for him. But then yesterday, 4 for 4, 3 RBIs, a dinger. Here is his big dinger yesterday.
And a chance for the guy who's hit more RBIs than any player in baseball since July 1st, Geno Suarez. Geno sends one out to left. Suarez at Fenway. Oh. And he's done it again. Oh. Hey, Eugenio Suarez. We know it's Geno. And it's 6-4 Diamondbacks.
Steve Berthiaume with the call there. Another great call on his part. But this D-backs team, it's amazing, guys. They were one game above 500, 51-50 on July 22nd. And here, since that point, they've won 24 out of 31 games, or 24-6 to be exact, in the last 30 games. And they are just continue to go up in standings. And for them to demote Jordan Montgomery, to not really know what's going on, Paul Sewald, to have Walker and Marte and Moreno all injured. Mm-hmm. What an impressive.
It seems like there's a guy like every other week that steps up. The Jake McCarthy's of the world.
Yep.
You think of Eugenio Suarez. I mean, look at the last 10 games. He's hitting about 350, the 15 hits, 3 home runs, 15 RBI, guys, and 8 runs scored. Talk about a guy that's hot. Now, I believe since July 1st, they're 34-13. Think about that, 34-13, and to your point, Rock, only 3 games back of the Dodgers with a huge 4-game set coming in here this weekend over at the ballpark.
That place is not sold out. I don't know. What do you have to do?
I would agree with that. I mean, you think about it, weekend series, they're going right in. Talk about the guys out, like you said, Rock. It's just like amazing how guys have stepped up. There's been like one guy per Like that one guy, the McCarthys, the Suarez of the world.
Even Corbin Carroll's coming around.
Starting to come around. But you're right, Suarez is hitting about the Mendoza line, just barely. And we're like, man, what are they going to do with him? Well, they like his arm. They like his fielding. And I'll never forget this. I know that Torey Lovello hinted that he had a little bit of a talk when he was in his slump. That means Suarez probably going back 2 months. They talked to him about game prep. They talked to him about getting dialed in. There were some things that Torey Lovello put out there, which is a shot across the bow to Suarez. Look, we need you, but we need you to be prepared and ready to go. Obviously, that message struck home after the All-Star break.
You know, another story on Friday that made waves was Jordan Montgomery. He kind of went into it with his former agent, Scott Boras, who he said kind of butchered his free agency. And, you know, this is coming from a guy we don't know a lot about, okay? He came here on a one-year deal, $25 million. He was one of 4 of Boras's top guys that he was going to sign on the offseason. And here he is. Didn't get the big money that he wanted, which I think $25 million is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And here he is already
not bad. 1 year
already got kicked out of the starting rotation.
Mm-hmm.
So here he is, you know, maybe just disgruntled because he's not pitching well. But him to rip into his former agent, he is now since went to a different agency. But come on,
I agree, Rock. That was odd for him to go on that little bit of a tirade. It's like did his Boras hold him out of spring training? Did he want him to hold out and or not to get the contract and pitch? Because it definitely caught up to him after the All-Star break.
He definitely had him holding out until he thought he could get huge money. And when that huge money didn't come, he had to settle for the 1-year deal. Look, the guy is overweight and out of shape. I don't know how that impacts a pitcher. Look at Bartolo Colon. I mean, the guy could still throw bullets when he was way out of shape. So I don't really know how that impacts a pitcher like that, but he looks terrible, and he has not pitched well since he has been on the mound for this team.
Interesting grab, Jim, because there was a shot about 2 weeks ago when he was pitching during a game. He was sweating bullets.
Yeah.
Profusely.
I remember that. Yeah.
And I'm like, is he sick? Is there something wrong with him? Out of shape? Pretty much could be.
Yes.
But I mean, it was like the second or third inning. They said he's a sweater. Okay. But I mean, he looked like he had a fever and he was trying to break a fever, whatever. But interesting you bring that up because he has not been the same pitcher that we saw last year in the World Series in particular. But I think it's water under the bridge to bring that up when you're getting sent to the bullpen and somewhat blaming your agent on something of that.
That's to me, that's just BS.
It's sour grapes.
That is.
And you're on a team that's winning.
Yeah.
Why do you want to bring this up at this point?
Exactly.
Now, part of the reason why he probably did, or 2 reasons, is A, he's not pitching well. And when he switched representation to Wasserman, which is the agency he's using now, they basically told him that Boras misfired on tens of millions of dollars in the short term. So he's probably got that in the back of his head, knowing that his career is towards the end.
Sure.
And he wanted to get that last big payday. But damn, $25 million?
Yeah. What's wrong with that? I mean, you think who is the former basketball player?
Number 4, number 5 are now in the bullpen?
Yeah. Was it Spreewell that said at $7 million?
Latrell, yeah. Oh, no. Patrick Ewing. When they had the strike and the players weren't getting their paychecks, Patrick Ewing came out and indicated, look, I make $12 million a year. I'm starving here. I'm not getting any money. I'm starving on $12 million a year.
After taxes, it's only $6 million. God forbid. Did you start a GoFundMe page? Back in those days and have a GoFundMe.
They didn't have that.
Yeah, I think that to come out when this team's playing so well, a lot of guys will ignore that in the clubhouse, but you don't want any misconceptions moving forward with a guy that's going to be disgruntled. Hey, he'll accept his role. He'll be a pro. He'll go down there. He could be a valuable asset if his mind is right with that. But to bring that up was, I thought, very inappropriate, especially when this team, you look at him, 16-4 in the last 20 games, 6 in a row, and 26-8 since the All-Star break. I mean, that's stuff you don't need that kind of, I'm not going to say it's toxic, but you don't need that kind of banter going on about, hey, save that at the end of the season when you want to talk about your agent.
Could be another reason why they sent him to the pen, because maybe it was becoming somewhat toxic.
Could have been. We don't know where that there. But, when you look at the rankings, a lot of people do the, rankings for these teams. And now you have the Diamondbacks in the top 5. It's Yankees first, followed by the Dodgers, Phillies, Orioles, and then number 5 is the Arizona Diamondbacks. You look at the Dodgers, that's who we're looking up at right now as Diamondback fans. they've had somewhat of musical chairs when you look at their rotation. They've been all over the board. Last week, they went 3-0 against Seattle. They went 2-0 against Tampa. That's a team that the Diamondbacks were swept by. So they were ranked 5th last week. Now they move up to number 2 in these rankings. But, the Phillies have fell, as well as the Royals have fell a little bit. The Yankees are playing some pretty good ball. They've won their last 2 series. But, you hope that the D-backs can keep this going, keep these 12 that we mentioned. If they continue to do that, there's no reason why we're not buying playoff tickets.
Oh, I would agree. I mean, and then when you get the Walker back and Moreno back and Cattell back, I think it's great that these guys are getting invaluable experience. The guys have had to plug in and contribute and have them hot. And then for Troy Lavelle to go, you know what? Okay, I can plug this guy, and that guy and feel comfortable. I mean, Del Castillo, if Moreno needs a blow once he comes back, have no issues with that, except for his arm, except for them running on him. They're going to have to really protect him as far as guys stealing. And when Christian Walker comes back, man, you got a group of guys that can back him up or move somebody to DH or go here or go there. And I think that's been the blessing in disguise that all these guys are contributing while you've got your stars on the bench.
So D-backs will be back home tomorrow. They'll play tomorrow. They're off today. Start with the Mets for a short one, and then they'll have the Dodgers. Hey, headlines are brought to you by Twin Peaks and our fantastic tailgating sweepstakes. The football season is here, and we want to thank Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light for the season-long fantastic tailgating giveaway. All you have to do, you can do it now, is text PEAKS to 59925. You can do it every day for your chance to win an amazing grand prize, which is a Traeger grill, a Blackstone griddle, a pizza oven, a cornhole set, a portable beer pong table, an outdoor projector with an
Here we go.
Here we go. Bring it down.
Inflatable
Screen, a cooler, multiple cases of Cocoa 5, a $250 Twin Peaks gift card, and best of all, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B logoed Wild Gear tumblers. At no purchase necessary, just text PEAKS to 59925, and then standard message and data rates do apply. It starts now. Make this football season unforgettable at Twin Peaks. Coming up, Sounds of the Weekend. We got a lot of good ones. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from the CAZ Sportsbook.
Hey, it's Rock with Wright Toyota. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, check out Wright Toyota and WrightToyota.com. We broadcast there every Friday from 1 to 4, so stop by, say hello. Right on the price, right on the selection, WrightToyota.com.
Crest Insurance is about more than providing coverage. It's about creating your safety net. We offer access to a national network of trusted carriers. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, we're here to help with a personal touch that's close to home. We're deeply invested in our communities, supporting local charities and initiatives that uplift those in need. Crest Insurance. Coverage you can trust. Service you can count on.
Upper Crust Pizza and Patio Wine Bar on the southeast corner of Cave Creek and the 101. Happy hour 7 days a week, 4 to 7, with $5.50 house wines and well drinks, $4.75 drafts, plus tons of food specials. Upper Crust Pizza and Patio Wine Bar.
Are you sick of fad diets or tired of overpaying for name brand weight loss meds? Semaglutide and tirzepatide, now available at Metier Clinical Services. These injectables are revolutionizing weight loss, starting at just $275 per month. Transform your health today, whether in Arcadia or online at metierpharmacy.com. Our expert team supports you every step of the way. Ready to take control? Contact Metier Clinical Services at 602-835-2675. Visit metierclinicalservices.com. Consult your healthcare provider before starting any weight loss program.
Wow, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust new Febreze car vent clips, now with 3 times greater scent control, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with new Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing, which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up Oscar! La, 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 la.
Now back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, live from the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Dive into parlays, futures, and prop bets on all your favorite sports. Catch every moment on one of our 46 stunning 4K screens. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sportsbook, your sports fans' paradise. Time for today's play of the day, courtesy of Document Solutions, leading the valley in business solutions for copier and IT service. Their service can't be copied. 623-252-8282. Now let's get to the play of the day.
All right, we've got some baseball. We did play you some already with the D-backs and Gino Suarez, and that's really what we should be playing here, but we just did, so we're going to go on the national level here. And we'll start with Aaron Judge, who, if you like the back pages in New York, which I know Schubert does, the New York Post, Daily News, Newsday, Sports, but the headlines today were Hot Judge Sunday. Judge hits 50th and 51st home run in win, on pace to break own American League record of 63. Of course, they went back to back with Soto and Stanton. And in the Daily News, they had Three's Company, which was
very good. I like that.
And
Very
then
good.
Area 51.
Oh, okay.
Judge out of this world as he doesn't stop at 50 in Yankees Power Show. Here's the 50.
High fly ball. Deep left center. Doyle back. See ya. Boarding flight 50. 50 home runs. Aaron Judge has done it again. Amazing.
And when he hits it, there's no doubt. He hit a couple that
Pretty much.
The second one hit the opposite field.
Yeah.
Only about 400. And that one there, 450 or whatever it was. I mean, just to see him, talk about a guy that's locked in. 6 home runs over the last, week and a half? He's hitting a home run every, 6 at-bats now? To see this guy locked in, it's, 6'10", 250 pounds, a lean 250. Just his stroke has just been amazing.
All right, I will just reference this one time because, in my opinion, he is not there yet. But I've had some people ask me, is he now getting Barry Bonds treatment? In other words, do you walk him intentionally now when he comes to the plate?
Well, come playoff time, I'm sure they will. Absolutely. If he's got runners on and he's a threat, why? Either that or you're not going to give him anything good to hit. I wouldn't call it an intentional walk.
We had a walk-off bunt yesterday. Walk-off bunt. Little League World Series with a runner on second, thanks to an extra inning. This young man, Hunter Alexander, puts down a bunt in an attempt to move the runner on second to third. However, the Chinese team fielded it cleanly, but the ensuing throw to first, no one was there to cover the base. An error allowed the run on second to score the winning run, and Florida wins the World Series. Here's how it went down.
They bunt Alexander with the runner at second base, Norton. He gets it down. Oh, it's perfect. Right there, he's going to win the Little League World Series championship. Chinese Taipei in shock. It was fielded and thrown to first base. Nobody was there on an incredible bunt by the last hitter in the order, Hunter Alexander. And for the first time, Florida are Little League World Series champions. 2-1 is the final.
From Lake Mary, Florida, the Southeast Regional team, my heart breaks for Chinese Taipei because what a way to win and a way to lose at the same time. Mm-hmm. For the second baseman not to cover first. They've practiced that over and over. They're just kids. We get it. Yeah. But what a heartbreaker for them.
I think I can't. They don't explain why. To your point, you cover that. And then how do you score it? E1? Nobody's there. He throws. Nobody's there.
Nobody's there.
And I don't know if he was concerned about the runner at second base, but I don't know why, because they're on the bag. Really no need to be concerned. But that kid had a brain cramp. First thing I thought of, want to get away. That's definitely that. But I thought it was great how they would console them. And you're right, Rock. They're just young guys. But, man, you can practice those fundamentals and practice. But as a coach with Little Leaguers, got to continue to remind them, hey, you got a bunt here, which is most likely they thought he'd bunt him over. make sure you cover because the first baseman's charging, and at that point, clean play by the pitcher to put that ball over. It's an easy out.
And here's what the pitcher did. The pitcher did everything that he was taught to do. He fielded it cleanly, turned and threw to first base, but because he did it so quickly, he did not realize that there wasn't anybody there.
He just expected it.
He did, yeah, expected the guy would be there.
They've done that 1,000 times.
Oh, I'm sure of it.
And China probably 10,000 times.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that he's there.
We also had a walk-off field goal as Georgia Tech beats Florida State 24-21 in Dublin. Here's how that went down.
44 yards away to do it. He got it. And the Yellow Jackets did it. Upset in hand. They found themselves a pot of gold at the end of their Irish rainbow.
Outstanding call. 25,000 Americans traveled to Dublin. They're going to do it again next year. Iowa State, Kansas State, then Pitt and Wisconsin in 2027. They need to fill the 2026. It was outstanding.
Epic. It was
great.
If
you watched game day from 6 a.m., which I know Jax, myself did, it was phenomenal to watch everything and anything they did, to just witness the fans and they were a mile away and the streets were just completely full. Pat McAfee did an amazing job. He's getting some heat because he was drinking Guinness and this other stuff. So what?
He was doing a broadcast at an Irish pub
during
happy hour.
Yeah.
What do you expect? It was hilarious.
It was great. And, I will say Nick Saban was phenomenal in his debut on College Game
Did you
Day.
not think that he would be? I thought he was going. We sat here on the show.
I'm not a Nick Saban fan. So going in, when you have that kind of animosity towards a guy because the one time I met him in an elevator, he didn't want to shake my hand. I've never let it go, and I think I liked when he was doing his picks. Guest picking, he was really breaking it down. He had no trouble talking about Alabama, which I thought was great for him to pick Georgia. To win the national championship is a big play on his part. He could have easily avoided that, but I thought they did a great job, and it's one thing for them to have a day where the sun was out the entire time.
that is
they
true.
never have a summer day like that.
The football gods smiled upon them.
They
at
did.
The stadium. And you see that opening drive by Florida State, go right down the field, get the 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
And then here comes Georgia Tech right back. Their opening drive that gets 8-7, and then tied at halftime. He went, this is a
we
good
got a game.
Damn good game. And then to see some of the fourth down conversions that both teams were attempting. I thought Norvell, he blew one on, was it 4th and 8? They didn't get it. And then Georgia Tech gets the ball, goes down and score. But to have them go down that final drive, pound the football.
They did.
And I thought Georgia Tech was more physical. I thought they matched the speed. There's more physicality. But what an upset win to start 0 week off.
In sports, we've seen some really funky, odd injuries in our day, like Luis Centellas jumping up. Was it Luis Centellas? Who was it? That got jumped up in the air.
Yeah,
got hurt.
It was a Gogolak.
No,
it wasn't. There's a couple of them.
It was the two brothers. They're out of Florida.
Yeah.
One was
Centellas?
one was at K-State. The other kicked for Tampa. I remember that. Yeah.
So we had one in the truck series, NASCAR truck series yesterday. A driver dislocated his shoulder by celebrating into the crowd at the Milwaukee Mile. Here's how it went down with Lane Riggs.
Dislocated my shoulder. I was celebrating so hard. It hurts like a mug, but it was worth it. It's not the first time it's happened to me, but it ain't gonna slow me down.
Not gonna slow you down. You get to celebrate this when he said on the radio, guys. I would go to war with any one of you on this pit crew. They get to celebrate tonight. Adam, Heather.
Bill Gramatica.
Gramatica.
That was it.
Arizona, he did it in 2001. He tore his ACL celebrating a first quarter field goal. Gus Farrat sprained his knee back in 97 by headbutting a padded wall in the end zone. You had Edwin Diaz, the Mets closer, who tore his patellar tendon while celebrating the win at Puerto Rico's win in the Classic over Dominican Republic. So you've had a few of those over the years, but you would never have thought that a race car driver,
Yeah.
a truck series guy, and you will remember he will be now on that list. Blaine Riggs.
Automatica Grammatica. I remember.
Yeah,
that.
I remember that. Who was
it-
the and I just blanked on his name over the weekend. The ESPN television analyst or insider that dislocated his shoulder because they were on the
Field
beach.
Yates.
Who was it?
Field Yates.
Yeah, that's it. Field Yates. And they were on the beach in California, I believe, and they had a thing up here, how to pick your fantasy team, and he went running at it and dove at it and tackled it, and he dislocated his shoulder when he did it.
Sounds of the night or the weekend are brought to you by Document Solutions. If you are in the market for a wireless printer, you can buy, lease, or rent one from Document Solutions. Their phone number is 623-252-8282. Document Solutions is the valley where their service can't be copied. On this day, 8 years ago.
Go ahead, Rock. Read it.
I can't. You read it.
8 years ago, 2016, 49ers QB Colin Kaepernick refused to stand for the anthem, saying, "I'm not going to stand up to show pride in the flag for a country that oppresses black people and people of color." A few days later, he was beginning then to take a knee to respect our military. That
All right,
was
the
on this day.
12-team college playoff predictor is going on right now. College football is here. This is an epic 12-team playoff. Predict all 12 CFP teams in the exact order in which seeded and the winner, and you'll win $20,000. It's free, or you predict all 12 CFP teams in the exact order in which seeded, you get $10,000, or just predict all the teams and win, and that's $1,000. So join the Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B 12-team college football predictor presented by Lerner Rowe and Wright Toyota. First 1,000 people, and you have to go to our website. It's rockandmanuch.com, rockandmanuch.com. Deadline is Thursday, August 29th. So get in there. It's free. Check it out. Coming up next, the Cards crushed by the Broncos in their preseason finale. We'll catch up with Rudy Carpenter next to discuss. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from the CAZ Sportsbook in
Clear. What's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix?
Cardinals quarterback Desmond Ridder cleared concussion protocols after absorbing a hard hit in yesterday's preseason finale. The deadline to whittle the roster down to 53 players is Tuesday. College football gets started on Saturday. ASU hosting Wyoming, Arizona entertaining New Mexico. The Diamondbacks get today off out of their series sweep of the Red Sox. They'll put their 6-game win streak on the line in tomorrow's opener against the Mets. Eduardo Rodriguez slated for the start. The Mercury returned to the court tonight to face the WNBA best New York Liberty. Phoenix signed Monique Billings for the rest of the season. I'm Seth Everett on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Craving a sandwich that packs a punch? Welcome to Knuckle Sandwiches in Mesa. We're not your typical sandwich shop. All our menu items are made in-house using family recipes passed down for generations. Taste the difference in every bite. And we don't stop at sandwiches. Enjoy our mouth-watering breakfast burritos and delicious bagel sandwiches. Plus, we cater all over the valley for your next event. Find us at 1140 North Higley in North Point Village, next to Bashas', or skip the line and order online at knucklesandwichesaz.com. Knuckle Sandwiches. This is the knuckle sandwich your parents should have given you.
What's up, guys? Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing. Monsoon season is upon us. Be proactive today. Go to state48roofing.com. Scan the QR code below. We want to take care of you. Be proactive. Get your maintenance done. We are home of the hashtag sexy roof status.
You hear it all the time. Lawyers talk about all their experience, many years of experience with insurance companies, and experience in the courtroom. But what they're not talking about is their results. Maybe they don't have any. At Lerner & Rowe, we're proud of our results because that's how we measure our success. We've helped over 150,000 people recover billions of dollars for their injuries, with over $1 billion just in the last 5 years alone. When you want results, call Lerner & Rowe.
Lerner & Rowe. Go. Call 977-1900.
Ready for some football? Join our annual Pro Football Pick'em contest today. You could win $5,000 and amazing prizes from Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light. Don't miss out on the excitement. Head to fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com.
Hey, sports fans, celebrate every and ultra. Added free Blanco and Reposado, featuring a unique oxygenation process, rich smoothness without tequila burn. That's why they won
platinum, and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant and enjoy. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of game day.
You scaled the sheer cliff face, battling frostbite, running low on oxygen. The wind pierced your skin, and every inch was agony. You reached heights no other human had before, while getting nowhere at airport security. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover best-selling action titles on Audible.
Sarah Spain with iHeart Women's Sports, presented by Capital One. In golf, the LPGA AIG Women's Open featured a thrilling finish on Sunday with multiple lead changes during the final round. New Zealand's Lydia Ko finished on top, winning her third career major, but first in 8 years. It's been a fantastic summer of golf for Ko, who also won Olympic gold in Paris, earning enough points to qualify for induction into the LPGA Hall of Fame. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcasts.
With the Venture X card
Nothing from Rudy.
Capital One, you earn unlimited 2x miles on everything you buy.
Nope, and we're 30
Plus,
seconds
get
out.
access to over 1,300 airport lounges. What's in your wallet? Terms apply.
All right,
Lounge
you're
access
coming
is
back
subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Now back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
I will
live
do
from
that.
the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Dive into parlays, futures, and prop bets on all your favorite sports. Catch every moment on one of our 46 stunning 4K screens. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar, your sports fans' paradise.
Getting over. On third down, Hall to the outside. It's in for a touchdown. So after
You're hot. The phone is ringing. I'm going to pick it up, but you're hot. I'll let you know if I got him.
this drive, Hall finally punches it in for Arizona.
Hassan Hall with the 2-yard TD run. That was the only touchdown as the Cardinals fell to the Broncos 38-12. When you look at the two quarterbacks, Clayton Tune, he finished 12 of 18, 119 yards.
He's there.
Pick, while Desmond Ridder was 10 of 16 for 111 yards. Ridder, however, was in the concussion protocol after a late hit late in that game. Tune went back in and unfortunately threw a pick six, which was not good to end the game. But joining us now to talk about it, Rudy Carpenter, former Sun Devil and NFL quarterback. You can always follow him on Twitter at RudyGCarp12. Rudy, as you look at the two quarterbacks right now, and if you had to make a decision, I know it's a small sample size, who would you lean towards as your number two of those two?
Yeah, I agree with you. It's a small sample size, and because of that small sample size, I would probably lean in the direction of Desmond Ridder, especially because he's had starter experience when he was in Atlanta. He got into some games, played, understands what the regular season game speed is like. And I also think, too, that he's a little bit better of a runner than Clayton Tune. And obviously with Kyler Murray as your starter, you would like somebody in that backup role who you can put in the game and try to keep the offensive system pretty much the same and have the same play call sheet, and still have, you know, your entire playbook available to use in a game.
Rudy, with that being said, are you surprised Ryan Tannehill hadn't been picked up? Because I think a lot of folks, I mean, I'm like you. Okay, Desmond Ridder got the experience, but he still is the end-all, be-all. When you had a guy like Ryan Tannehill that's out here, that's been out there, that maybe you bring in as a last-second situation.
Well, I think the Ryan Tannehill situation is, I don't think it's based on his skill level and you know, not being good enough to play in the NFL. I think part of the issue is Ryan Tannehill, throughout the course of his career, has been someone who has not handled being a backup quarterback very well. He's a guy that has a very large ego and has a very high opinion of himself. And he's a guy that wants to be paid starter money. He wants to be treated like a starter, and he still believes that he is a starter. And so I think there's a lot of teams out there that are worried about bringing in that attitude and putting it into the mix of their quarterback. In the NFL, if you're a backup quarterback, it's really, really, really important that you kind of get in line and you understand who you are. You understand what your role on the team is, and you understand that a big part of your job as a backup quarterback is to, support the starter and do everything you can to help the starter be the best player he can be on Sundays. And I think, Tannenhill's had a little bit of a hard time with that. Personally, based on the Russell Wilson situation and Justin Fields situation, I would try to trade Justin Fields over Russell Wilson to get something for those guys. You're like the Minnesota Vikings, you just had J.J. McCarthy go down. Maybe you look at your starter and Sam Darnold, and maybe you wonder, hey, does it make sense to go trade for a Russell Wilson and bring him in here and try to give ourselves a chance to make a run if Sam Darnold gets hurt or if he just doesn't play very well? And then, Arthur Smith is the offensive coordinator in Pittsburgh, and he was the guy that Ryan Tannehill had his best seasons with in Tennessee, and it'd be a seamless transition to bring Ryan in Pittsburgh, an offense he already knows, and allow him to go to work. So that was a situation that made sense to me. As far as the Cardinals go, I think they're probably just happy. They understand that Kyler Murray's their starter, their franchise guy. If he gets hurt, it's going to be another year like last year. It doesn't matter who your backup is. The Cardinals roster's not good enough to do anything without Kyler Murray.
Rudy Carpenter's our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. All right, Rudy, because I didn't see anything from any of the backup QBs, and I also struggled to see really anything that positive out of the Cardinals in those 3 games. Look, I get it. It's preseason. They're not showing anything. A lot of starters didn't even sniff the field. I understand that. But that does give fans some angst as far as what they expect of this team. Do you believe that they can walk into Buffalo and flip the switch in game 1?
I don't think any NFL teams are capable of doing what you just said, which is flip the switch. Maybe the Kansas City Chiefs are a team that can stumble around a little bit and flip the switch and all of a sudden, get right back to their dominant winning ways. But I think in general, for all NFL teams, it's very, very hard to flip that switch, to go from not playing very well to all of a sudden playing well. Like you said, I totally understand it's the preseason and teams aren't playing their starters and they aren't showing, their capabilities on offense and defense. But at the same time, it's not like this Arizona Cardinals roster is a dominant roster. So in my viewpoint, it's going to be a good test week 1. I do think that parity is good in the NFL. I mean, we see it every year where 8-8 teams make the playoffs. And so, the parity in the NFL is really good. You never know who's going to win on a week in or week out basis. But with that being said, from top to bottom, I think if Jonathan Gannon and Monty Austinfort were drinking some truth serum, I think they would both tell you that this roster is not good enough to win 10 games or make a playoff push in the NFC West.
Yeah, Rudy, it's, you watch these games. You watch all those games in national football. Like a lot of second, third teamers are playing. Guys are scoring left and right, the backups. Cardinals might put 4 touchdowns on the board in 3 preseason games. And you look at the depth, defense, offensive-wise. Does that pause you for any kind of concern if people start going down on this Cardinals team?
Yeah, I mean, it's always difficult in the NFL, really at any position, when your starter goes down and you're playing backups or young guys. There's always a major drop off. Some positions you can hide better than others, right? Like you can interior offensive linemen, you can kind of hide those guys a little bit. Sometimes you can hide the tight end position a little bit, the running back position. But when you have guys go down at your skill spots like quarterback or your number 1, number 2 wideouts, or especially your edge guys, your offensive tackles, those are all guys that can get exposed, really, really easily. You would love to see situations where, the Cardinal starters are playing well when they're in the game. And then when the backups go in, they are also playing well. And that way it shows you that everybody is executing at a high level. Everybody understands what they're trying to get accomplished in each situation, in each preseason game. But like I said, in my viewpoint, I just really don't believe that this Cardinals roster, top to bottom, is anywhere ready to compete in the NFC West.
Rudy, you look at the Patriots. Why would you not start Drake May when looks like for all intents and purposes the Patriots aren't going anywhere fast this year? I know I get the whole Jacoby Brissett, the veteran, the this. Kid's played, I think, fairly well. Why would you not start him when you basically I'm going to call it a throwaway year for the Patriots?
Well, look, I see the argument on both sides of, hey, Peyton Manning type situation where it's like, if you're not going to be a good roster, sometimes the best thing you can do is throw your guy out there and let him get valuable reps when the pressure is off.
Yeah.
There's no pressure to win. Everybody understands that you're not going to win. The roster's not ready to win. The coaching staff there probably is not ready to win yet. So, hey, it makes a lot of sense to throw the young guy out there and let him go see every type of look. Let him get a bunch of reps in just first and second down offense. Let him get a ton of reps in third down offense where he can go, third and short, third medium, third long, third and extra long, and see all the crazy exotic defensive fronts and exotic blitzes and exotic coverages that all the defenses are going to throw his way. And, I've said on this show many times that really the only way to learn playing the quarterback position is to get out there and play it and to take your lumps and to make your mistakes and to constantly learn. People talk about, well, you can learn as the backup. You can definitely learn as the backup, but you're going to learn much quicker when you're the guy out there as the starter seeing the looks. But I also think there's an argument to be made. I mean, it's a really long NFL season. As a quarterback, you can get punished physically and mentally when you're playing on a team that may not be great. And I think if you're the New England Patriots, the absolute last thing you want to do is to absolutely destroy Drake May's confidence. And to me, that can happen. And I think we've seen it. And I think we've recently seen it with a guy like Zach Wilson, who got out there with a team that, I mean, if you want to say Jets were good, that whatever. But the point is that he didn't play well, and he was getting teed off on, and the national media was crushing him, and the spotlight was just on him heavy every single week. And I think ultimately it was really, I just think his confidence was crushed.
As we let you
didn't
go,
trust himself anymore.
Hey, real quick, Rudy, before I started to cut you off there, you dropped a little bit there. But when you look ahead to Saturday night with the Sun Devils, Cowboys are in town, Wyoming, aside from a win, what would you like to see? What would you really like to kind of take away other than, of course, a win?
I think it's really important early in the season to see action, a smooth operation in and out of the huddle on offense and defense, executing on offense, then being able to execute plays, no free rushers to the quarterback on defense, executing what's being called, not allowing, secondary blitz or secondary busts or, things of that nature. And then I think always something you can always control is you want to see your guys compete their asses off.
Rudy, thank you as always, buddy. Have an outstanding week. We'll look forward to talking to you on Monday of next week, and hopefully we're talking about an ASU win.
All right, good.
Rudy Carpenter joining us here as they just named their quarterback, Evan Svoboda, who had some little bit of success last year. He had one career start, leading the Cowboys to a 10-10 tie in the fourth quarter against then number 3 Texas last fall. He also pioneered the game-winning drive again in the Arizona Bowl when the former quarterback got hurt. They have a brand new offensive coordinator, formerly of Michigan State, play caller Tim Pulaski, I believe is how you say his name. Jay Johnson. Jay Johnson, who was at Michigan, he replaced Tim Pulaski, who is now the head coach at North Dakota State. So you can't take these Cowboys lightly.
Well,
you just can't.
And I think Swoboda, I missed him. I think he was a graduate from either Red Mountain or Mountain View from the East Valley. I'll double check, but I think he's out of the East Valley. Big kid, about 6'5".
How many kids, again, real quick, I know we got to go break. How many kids did you count on Friday that are playing D1 football?
16
quarterbacks.
And there's another 4 or 5 playing FCS. So it's about 21. I think we had 8 should be starting this week.
That's amazing.
Football at 50 is next. The Fanatics refile suit against Cardinals Marvin Harrison Jr. They add his father and much, much more as we continue from the CAZ Sportsbook. You listen to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B here on Fox Sports 910.
When you're looking for a bay window awning over a breakfast nook, a shade sail or structure in your home or business, a retractable awning for your patio, or roll curtains for your screen room, the House of Canvas in fine wrought iron has what you need. Beat the heat this summer and get covered by Arizona's #1 rated shade experts. Visit thehouseofcanvas.com. House of Canvas, family owned and making shady deals in the Valley for over 40 years. That's thehouseofcanvas.com.
Kick off the football season with Twin Peaks, Roc, Manuch, Jimmy B, and Fox Sports 910 for our fantastic tailgating sweepstakes. Text PEAKS to 59925 for your chance to win a Traeger grill, Blackstone griddle, and more. No purchase necessary. Details at rockandmanuch.com.
In the fast lane of life, your fuel should keep up. Time to check out G2G protein bars, your ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether it's a workday, gym session, or navigating daily chaos, G2G has got you covered. Find them now at your local Costco in the refrigerated section, or explore all 8 fantastic flavors at G2GBar.com. Great tasting and packed with protein. So keep pace with life in the fast lane with G2G protein bars.
Is it time for an all-in-one wireless printer with tons of connectivity options? With Document Solutions of the Valley, you can buy, lease, or rent models that work off of your smartphone. Call 623-252-8282. Document Solutions of the Valley. Our service can't be copied.
Hey, it's Dom with Venezia's Pizzeria. You know us for delicious family dinners and huge party pizzas. But did you know we are great at feeding a large group too? Our full catering menu has a ton of variety, so everyone will find something they love. And the best part? We don't charge per head. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll handle the rest. Check out our catering menu at Venezias.com. That's Venezias.com. Venezias, a family and catering tradition.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
The only place you're going to find 3 10-foot screens with games on full volume in 3 separate rooms, all in the same bar.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
With dozens more big screens. You'll find every game you're looking for only at Duke's, because there's only one Duke's. Voted best sports bar by New Times.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
Pool tables, shuffleboard tables, darts, karaoke and trivia nights. 3 huge patios on the Greenbelt, all doggy friendly.
Where? Dukes! Where? Dukes! Miller and McDowell! Scottsdale!
This is the famous footwear that makes us actually want to go back to school. With the newest styles from all your favorite brands like Nike, Adidas, Crocs, Converse, New Balance, Birkenstock, and more. You'll find everything kids want, all at prices parents can appreciate. Because you don't have to overspend to make it famous. Famous Footwear even has fit experts in store to make sure you get the right size every time. So for the perfect fit, make it famous. Plus, right now, buy one, get one half off when you shop your local Famous Footwear or famous.com. Some exclusions apply.
Now back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, live from the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Dive into parlays, futures, and prop bets on all your favorite sports. Catch every moment on one of our 46 stunning 4K screens. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar, your sports fans' paradise.
Let's get ready for football!
It's Football at 50, the latest top football story trending this hour, right here with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910 and the iHeartRadio app.
Well, the 44 yards away to do it. He got it. And the Yellow Jackets did it. Upset in hand. They found themselves a pot of gold at
You're hot.
the end of their Irish rainbow. Pot of gold at the end of the Irish rainbow. How about that? A great game to watch to kick off the college football season. A great finish there in Dublin as Florida State lost 24-21. Myself, as well as many others like Jax, also lost.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you changed?
I live
10
bet.
and a half.
I live bet Georgia Tech money line at halftime, and we doubled down and won our money back. That's what I'm talking about, Rock.
Jack's
Always chase your bets.
No, I did during the Cardinals game yesterday.
Nice.
I was losing, and then I jumped back on at Cardinals were given 10.5 at some point. I think at halftime or third quarter. Yeah, you got to do that.
You know, if you want to get your money back, Jax, look at Jax
So let
becoming
me ask you,
the
can we do
gambling
this?
professional.
I want to give both you guys $100 each.
Yeah.
And I want you guys to download some type of app. I don't care. Maybe it's DraftKings. That's what we both have. And
Okay.
I know Jody promotes them, so if we can help Jody in the morning. But I'll give you each $100, and let's do some bets. And
See how we do?
Any profits I make. But I'm giving.
Pay Rock back first.
Well, because you guys think you know
Yeah.
you know what.
Yes.
So, why don't you
So
put
how
money
does
where your
that
mouth is?
impact me?
No, it's not. So you guys will. It's just like education. This is like
Gambling 101?
No, it's not gambling.
How
101.
dumb am I?
We're throwing you right in. But it's like you're playing with Monopoly money. I'm investing
it's
$100 each in both of you guys.
Yeah.
You should start out with $10. Let's start out with
No,
$10.
because you can't gamble anything. You got to have a little
Take
bit
the
of money.
floaties off, throw us to the deep
Yeah,
end.
and then that way you guys will be more engaged all season because all right, I'll do this. Give you $100 and you got 1 month. And
Okay.
after 30 days,
Yeah.
See how we're doing?
how you're doing, and we'll cash out either it's a loss or it's a win, and I'll split it with you.
It's a complete crap.
No, 50%, shoot, 50%. How's that bad?
You know what? I'm good at the fan pick 'em when it comes to the odds and bets, whatever.
Dude, I lost the Florida State game. I won the Montana State game. Okay?
Yeah, that was
great
good.
game.
Yep.
And I won the Delaware game, and I lost the Nevada game.
Wasn't the Delaware like 49?
39 and
39,
39 and a half.
Yeah.
That 10-hour flight must have got them right. Kept them in the game.
By the way, the Lions packed Ford Field in their preseason finale on Saturday. They had standing room only.
Yep.
51
Seriously?
plus.
Yes, they're jacked. They're going to the Super Bowl. You ask them.
Yep. The Commanders are going to be honoring franchise legend Sean Taylor. Going to build a statue for him. I think that's pretty cool.
I
That
think
came
that's
out
very
this
good.
weekend. Fanatics have refiled its lawsuit against Cardinals wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. They're adding his dad, the Hall of Famer Marvin Harrison Sr., as there are fraud allegations in addition to breach of contract. This lawsuit originally was filed in New York last spring, claiming that Jr. did not fulfill his obligations from May of 2023 in a deal that he signed. That deal had to do with him signing autographs, signing trading cards, game-worn apparel, and other marketing things. So this isn't going away yet.
Nope.
But it will.
I hope the Harrison family got money.
Oh, they do. Come on. You know he does.
But I mean, if you're going to take on the big boys like that, I mean, you just better make sure that you're ready to go, ready to
I
go
don't know why
battle.
you're taking them on. What do you got to do?
Well, I mean, if they
Just
come back,
fulfill your obligation.
Well, I think they eventually do that, but for some reason, he does not want to do that.
He signed a contract.
He did sign a contract.
This is how you grow up.
But he's resisting. But what I'm trying to tell you, when you take on a corporation like that, and they're gonna hold their ground, they're like, hey, look, we can settle this in court, or you can pretty much adhere to your obligation. What do you want to do?
They have sworn affidavits.
Yes, they do.
From both Harrisons just less than a month ago.
They do.
Just fulfill your obligation.
I would agree
There are
with that.
going to be many opportunities down the road to make money.
Well,
many.
Why? The question is, why are they resisting this? Why do they not want to do it? Now, do they feel that
Shoot, I don't know.
that was under a false pretense? I mean, if this thing goes to court, they have and a court decides it, they're going to lose their butt.
I agree.
Because they got a contract signed, and moving forward. I'm
Yeah.
like you, Rock. Just go ahead and fulfill your
Get
obligation.
it over with.
Get it done with.
$1 million.
Yeah.
That's nothing to these
Because
guys.
you don't want to go back and have them sue you for and come back at $5 million, and it could have been $1 million. I mean, it's damages could be triple if a court gets involved.
Or if he all of a sudden 10 catches, 3
One.
touchdowns,
Sure.
week 1,
Yeah.
week 2, he keeps adding. So anyway, Football 50 is brought to you today by Twin Peaks and our annual Pro Football Pick'em, where you can win $5,000. It's the fan pick'em presented by Blue Moon and Coors Light. $5,000 plus weekly prizes from Twin Peaks. Head to fanpick'em.com. This is, I think, our 15th or 16th year. Jimmy B and myself are the only ones that are up.
I'm in. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to see Jimmy's headshot on the pet of what I put. I found a picture of Jimmy B that he's going to love because he doesn't have his glasses on. And it's a great shot, fanpick'em.com. Coming up, Big Red Monday and sounds from yesterday, plus our game changers for the weekend, and one of our staples, Craig Fooey, plus a chance to win 4 tickets to see the Sun Devils on Saturday night against Wyoming. We'll do
10.
that around 2:20, 2:25. Roc and Manuch.
Clear.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B has been sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing.
You may not have any experience dealing with car wrecks, but Lerner and Rowe does. After your car wreck, you need an attorney to make sure your interests, like car repairs, medical bills, and lost wages, are protected. Finding the right attorney is actually easy. Just look for reputation, experience, and results. Lerner and Rowe has thousands of 5-star reviews, decades of experience, and we've recovered billions of dollars for our injured clients. Hurt in a wreck and need a check? Call Lerner and Rowe today.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Kick off football season with Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light for a season-long fantastic tailgating giveaway. Text PEAKS to 59925 every day for your chance to win the amazing grand prize. A Traeger grill, Blackstone griddle, pizza oven, cornhole set, portable beer pong table, an outdoor projector, inflatable screen, cases of Cocoa 5, a cooler, and Wild Gear tumblers. No purchase necessary. Just text PEAKS to 59925. Standard message and data rates apply. Make this football season unforgettable with Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light.
Don't miss our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival presented by Capital One.
Las Vegas, and you're having a good time.
Friday and Saturday, September 20th and 21st. Streaming live only on Hulu.
iHeartRadio, let's go!
Get tickets now at AXS.com.
We had the appetizer last week. Now it's time to feast. College football is back, and don't miss any of the action. Jump in with DraftKings Sportsbook. It's a full slate of games for week 1, including the big matchup in Atlanta between the preseason number 1 and number 16. This is going to be DraftKings' biggest college football season to date. Enjoy the ride now all the way through the expanded playoffs. Plus, all newbies getting into the college football spirit. Here's something extra special. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Score big with DraftKings all college football season long. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code 910. That's code 910 for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus, Arizona only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Broadcasting from the Raffi Law Group Studios. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD3 Phoenix. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports talk, podcasts, and music. Free never sounded so good.
Mercury returned to the court tonight to face the WNBA best New York Liberty. Phoenix signed Monique Billings for the rest of the season. The Diamondbacks get today off out of their series sweep of the Red Sox. They'll put their 6-game win streak on the line in tomorrow's opener against the Mets. Eduardo Rodriguez slated for the start. College football gets started on Saturday. ASU hosting Wyoming, Arizona entertaining New Mexico. Cardinals quarterback Desmond Ridder cleared concussion protocols after absorbing a hard hit in yesterday's preseason finale. The deadline to whittle the roster down to 53 players is Tuesday. I'm Seth Everett on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
Look for a fairly nice day to start off your work week. Temperatures today right around 108. For tonight, we'll see those overnight lows dipping into the low 80s, and we'll continue with those mostly clear skies. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
Report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell is introducing the new Cantina Chicken Menu with new Cantina Chicken Burrito, Quesadilla, Bowl, and Tacos, featuring their new slow roasted chicken. Try the new Cantina Chicken Menu today at participating U.S. Taco Bell locations while supplies last. Contact store for participation, which varies.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B is sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing. Now back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, live from the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Dive into parlays, futures, and prop bets on all your favorite sports. Catch every moment on one of our 46 stunning 4K screens. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar, your sports fans' paradise. Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing. And is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. On Fox Sports 910.
Third down, Hall to the outside. It's in for a touchdown. So after spending over 3 minutes in the red zone on this drive, Hall finally punches it in for Arizona.
Hassan Hall with the 2-yard run in the fourth quarter, which cut the Denver lead from 24-12. That was courtesy of CBS Channel 5. As we are out here at Casino, Arizona at 101 in McKelps, as we are getting closer and closer to the NFL football season, our home here on Mondays. We are starting Big Red Mondays now at this time. We'll get into some of the sound. We'll do this every Monday at 2 o'clock where we'll give you sound from the Cardinals game from the night before and give you some of the most recent news as they have cut 6 guys. We'll get to that in a moment. So if one of you guys want to pull that for me while as I do this, you guys can read off those names. The 6 players have been announced. And the preseason's over. 0-3. Yep. No surprise. Clayton Tune, he finished 12 of 18, 119 yards, had a pick. Desmond Ridder had 10 of 16, looked good, 111 yards, He did hit the concussion protocol after taking a late hit. Cards now get ready for September 8th as they'll be in Buffalo. There was a report also over the weekend that defensive lineman Darius Robinson, he will be out multiple weeks with that calf injury, which is unfortunate. But now we turn our attention to this Cardinals. And the stats of the game, if you're looking at the stats of the game, a whopping 210 yards rushing or passing, 122 yards rushing, 3 sacks, and 5 tackles for loss. But there are some highlights. I think Cameron Thomas was a guy that you got to look at. I think he's finished strong, Manuch. He has 3 sacks in the last 2 weeks. He had a tackle in there for a loss and a pair of quarterback hits, so he's done pretty well. I thought Desmond Ridder, for the most part, I mean, you could probably break that down.
I don't think he's done anything that has had that Clayton Tune has overtaken him as that backup. I really don't. By the way, those cuts so far: wide receiver Dalen Baldwin, linebacker Chris Garrett, cornerback Delonte Hood, safety Verone McKinley III, cornerback Michael Ojemedia, and offensive lineman Austin Pleasant. So those are mostly those are pretty much camp guys.
Camp guy, yep.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think?
What
do you think Hassan Hall? I mean, he signed just over a week ago or something.
Right.
Yeah.
And 19 attempts, 59 yards, a touchdown. He also caught 4 passes.
He was kind of on display. Do you not think at that? He was pretty much the bell count offense.
He was tired.
And he hurt his hip on that one touchdown run.
Yeah,
he got it real slow. But I like what you saw in him because he's very versatile. Much like James Connors and much like Benson.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the kind of back that they want. And I think that when you look at that from a running back standpoint, did he surpass the other running backs to the point of these cuts? I got to imagine that they'll probably keep all three quarterbacks. I would think Desmond Ridder would be the backup because of his experience, because he didn't do anything that didn't replace him by Clayton Tune. The thing about Clayton Tune is on some of those sacks, I've watched him all preseason. There's opportunities when you see a quarterback's growth, get rid of the ball. Just get rid of it, throw it away, don't go down with it, and just that's some of that growth that you see. And the other thing, guys, not that it's a big deal, but it kind of sort of is. Thank you, Yogi Berra. Is you only scored 4 touchdowns in 3 preseason games. I mean, you're playing against second and third teamers, against your second, third teamers. Now, I know that Drew Petzing's not going to call a lot of stuff, a lot of plays out there, but you could, I mean, me, you, Jimmy, Jax, Rock, we could go out there, you'd think, put 4 touchdowns on the board in 3 preseason games. They settle for field goals. The red zone offense is abysmal, as you heard that right there, that they spent about, 25 minutes in the red zone on that one drive.
They did.
Give or take.
3.
But I look at that and kind of go, man, there's got to be some, from the backup standpoint, if these starters on offense, I'll say offense at first, go down, they're in trouble. Now, Cameron Thomas, he's fighting for a job. And I thought he's looked really good coming back. And I think,
where do you play?
I think it was was he?
Oh, I want to say Stanford, but I could be wrong.
It wasn't San Diego State.
But he's
It
all
was
over
San
the
Diego
place.
State.
Yeah. He and the tight end from San Diego State, and Trey McBride both. But you look
Colorado
at
State, Trey McBride.
I'm sorry, Colorado State. You look at him, you kind of go, okay, there's some guys that stood out. Now with the calf injury for Darian, that is what basically you're going 5 to 6. That's a tear. So it's not a strain. A strain you can come back in 3, maybe 4. But if you get a tear, that's definitely a 5 to 6 weeks that he's going to be out.
So let's knock out some sound from yesterday. Here is some positive. Here's Clayton Tune to wide receiver Xavier Weaver. He's a kid from Colorado. This was a great play early on in the game.
Pressure's coming by Incombe. Tune escapes, throws deep on the run, looking for Weaver. And he's got it. Xavier Weaver, the undrafted rookie from Colorado, goes for 43 yards.
Then they had a catch and fumble, which was unfortunate because they were there. They were in the red zone. They were making an opportunity. Then this happened.
It's 3rd and goal for Arizona. Tune to Jones at the 8, and Jones lost the football. For now, they're saying catch fumble, and it's recovered by Keydron Smith.
Did you hear that hit? I mean,
you can hear it on the radio.
It was a pop.
Of course, all bad teams always have the best kicker in the league. Here's Prater with his 50-yarder.
From 55. This one right down the middle, and it is good. So Matt Prater, who owns the NFL record for the most field goals of 50 yards or longer with 80 in his career, makes one here in the preseason, and at the half, it's 14-3.
At least he got on the board, walking into the locker room, and then in the third quarter, he was back, and he had a little chip shot here, which made the score 17-12.
The former Bronco from 24 yards away. And Prater is good.
Gotta love kicking in Mile High. You know that?
Oh,
I mean, that's just
it's his old home stadium
it
as
is,
well.
Yeah.
You talk about Xavier Weaver, the young man from Colorado, undrafted. I mean, you looked at his 2 kickoff returns, he had 2 punt returns. I think he's averaged about 28. He had 35 yards from the opening kickoff. I mean, that's how an undrafted wide receiver who had a few catches makes the team.
Yes.
And if he's got the ability, if he's, I don't know how fast, if he's a 4-3, 4-4 guy. But I mean, you look at a guy like that, if they keep him, special teams wise, it can be used as a gunner, punt returner, kickoff returner. I think he showed a little bit of preference too. As little amount as returns we're seeing on any of these kickoffs in the National Football
Not a
League.
question of just being fast, as you know this, Manuch, but you have to be elusive as well.
And he allowed the blocks to set up.
Yes.
And that opening kick, I thought it was very impressive for a young guy.
So you already heard the Hassan Hall 2-yard touchdown, so we don't have to play that. But let's get to here. Clayton Tune had to go back into the game late. I think there's just over 4 minutes remaining because Ridder got hurt, and it was in concussion protocol. But here's Tune in the 4th. Unfortunately, this is how the game basically ended with a pick 6.
3 minutes.
Down in 10. Tune intercepted. Picked off by Lavelle Bailey. A cutback. Being chased from behind, and Bailey is going to go.
So there you have it. 0-3 in the preseason. I was watching the game with a bunch of Cardinal fans who, I watched game 1, game 2, and game 3 with the same guys, right? And one in particular guy who's just a diehard, right? I respect him. We don't believe in the same political values either, but I'm a good friend of his. He can take it, right?
Well, that's news.
Yeah, it is. And he was 8 wins week 1. He went into the season 8 wins.
Okay.
And then after that game, he was still at 8. Then second game, he was at about 7.
Waffling here, huh?
And then I had him down to 4 wins. I had him at 4 wins by the fourth quarter.
How many drinks
yesterday.
did you buy him?
No, I don't buy. He's buying me drinks. But no, I had him at 4 wins.
Yeah.
2. Diehard season ticket holder says this team. He knows only there were 38 guys that didn't play.
Right.
On this roster.
Yes.
Is that what Howard Balzer said last night?
Yeah.
On Channel 10.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, come on. And
all I know,
I understand it. I would be the same way if I was a diehard Cardinal fan. I'd be like, okay, hey, they're going to win 8. They're going to win 9. But these preseason games, I know it's bench for bench. It's end of the roster, but it's both teams.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing same thing, and they're getting absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, well, you're watching the depth. Is what you're
Exactly.
watching.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is if they
Injuries.
don't have all hands on deck every
1 minute.
week, they have a chance to win. Without those guys, you got no chance.
No
to
shot.
Win.
That's correct.
All right, your big red Monday. To get used to it.
No shot.
Headlines. Big red headlines are brought to you by Twin Peaks and the fantastic tailgating sweepstakes. Kick off football season with us. Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light. Season long, all you do is text PEAKS, PEAKS, to 59925. You can do it every day. Standard message data rates apply, and you can win not one of these, all of these. It's a grand prize. You're all in. A Traeger grill, a Blackstone griddle, a pizza oven, a cornhole set, a portable beer pong table, an outdoor projector with a
inflatable. There you go.
Inflatable.
There you go, Rock.
Inflatable screen, because I couldn't say that word in the first hour. A cooler, a $250 Twin Peaks gift card.
Tell them the best part.
Multiple cases of Cocoa 5, which is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But to Jimmy's point, logoed Wild Gear tumblers
Woo-hoo!
that have our logo on them.
Yeah.
Pretty cool stuff. So no purchase necessary. Text PEAKS to 59925. Standard message data rates apply. I don't care. We may not carry the NFL all the time. We have a lot of games on Sunday.
Sure.
We might carry the local team, but no one in this market, no one has a promotion that not even close to that.
You got that
and
right.
It's free. Coming up, our G2G protein bar game changers from the weekend. We have Suarez to Judge to the Little League World Series. So our weekend game changers are next, plus a chance to win 4 tickets. Somebody will win them to Sun Devils opener on Saturday night on Frank Coach Field. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado feature a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. That's why they've won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant and enjoy. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of game day.
Tune in Thursdays at 1:30 p.m. for the Crest Insurance Group's Sun Devil Report with Coach Charlie Ragle. Crest Insurance. Coverage you can trust, service you can count on. Every Thursday on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks is always adding exciting cocktails to the menu, like the expertly balanced Sincoro Hall of Fame Margarita. Try it at your local lodge today.
Attention drivers, your safety matters. All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing storage services contractor, proudly sponsors the Move Over Law. When you see flashing lights, remember to move over and slow down. Together, we can protect our roadside heroes. Drive safe, Arizona. Sponsored by All City Towing.
Sun Devil football is back. Don't miss a minute of the action when Sun Devil football returns to Mountain America Stadium as a member of the Big 12 Conference. to take on the Wyoming Cowboys Saturday, August 31st at 7:30 p.m.
Scattaboo with the catch, has the first down, stays on his feet, and he's going to go. Touchdown, Devils!
Get your ASU Wyoming tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
You met with the stable boy despite your father's orders. He hoisted you onto the saddle and you wrapped your arms around him, embracing his silent strength. He lay you down amongst the wildflowers. You experienced love like never before while you were buying dish soap. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover heart-stopping romance titles on Audible.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. And look at you, hands perfectly placed on the wheel. Not like the driver to the right of you who's really going after that drum solo. Save with DriveWise and the Allstate app and only pay a rate based on you.
Not available in every state, subject to terms and conditions. Rating factors and savings vary, and in some states your rate could increase with high-risk driving. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Now back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, live from the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Dive into parlays, futures, and prop bets on all your favorite sports. Catch every moment on one of our 46 stunning 4K screens. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar, your sports fans' paradise. Meant for mornings, The Drive with Jody Ayler. Listen tomorrow, 6 to 10 on Fox Sports 910.
All right, it's time for our G2G protein bars, game changers from the weekend. They're now available at Costco. Just check the refrigerated section, and you will see what I mean. You can also go online at g2gbar.com. So I have one, Manuch has one, and Jimmy B actually has one. I noticed you guys got some sound for him, too. That's great. You guys are doing some prep. I love it. All right, let's get to mine. Let's start off with the Grand Slam by Gino Suarez on Friday night.
Suarez hits a fly ball, left field, and that one is gone into the monster seats for a Grand Slam.
That was in the opening of the series as they swept Boston. Got that game wide open at 12-2. And then on Sunday, he was the key player in their comeback as he has now through, since July 7th, an ML best 45 RBIs. Hell of an accomplishment since he was hitting 196.
Terrible.
And you had fans, not us per se, they were saying, you know, you got to trade him. You got to release him. You got to do something.
Or DFA, or the other.
Yeah. But here he is with that go-ahead 3-run homer in the 6th, which made the score 6-4 over Boston.
And a chance for the guy who's hit more RBIs than any player in baseball since July 1st, Gino Suarez. Gino sends one out to left. Suarez at Fenway. And he's done it again. Hey, Eugenio Suarez. We know it's Gino. And it's 6-4 Diamondbacks.
We know.
Oh, Steve Bethune is on
Gino,
a roll.
He really is. Did you guys grow up? Did you guys ever go to a place called Gino's? It was a chain.
No, never.
In New Jersey, we had a place called Gino's. It was outstanding. It was a combination of burgers and different things like that, but just didn't make it out here on the West Coast. All right, that was my G2G protein bar game changer, Gino Suarez.
All right, mine is Here Comes the Judge. Here's number 50, Yesterday.
High fly ball, deep left center, Doyle back. See ya. Boarding flight 50 home runs. Aaron Judge has done it again. Amazing.
Not only did he have one bar, but two G2G bars. It's number 50 and 51, the 10-3 win over the Rockies. And you look at him right now, his line yesterday, 2 for 4, 3 RBI, 2 runs scored. And now, folks, hitting .333, .465 on-base percentage, and one of the highest slugging percentages in Major League Baseball, .736. Also, a couple other guys had a couple G2G protein bars before the game. How about Soto and Stanton? You had Soto, Judge, and Stanton all go back to back to back in the 7th inning. just like a good old softball game, just pitching them up there and laying them all out. So those are my three.
What do you mean a softball game?
Well, it was
I guarantee you never played in a game where you had back-to-back
I love
home runs.
the broadcaster on the third one watching the highlights said there's just like a good old softball game in Texas. Pull up the
Man, you should have pulled that sound. That would have really
Yeah,
helped the segment.
I know, but F-150 is like a good old softball game. Pull out the beer, the F-150, and go back to back to back. So
The
G2G,
F-150, it's a Ford.
Yeah, that's what he said. Pulling up the F-150, pulling it up, got your case of beer, and watching the softball game.
Sound would have been so much better than you trying to
Oh,
explain it.
man. All right. It is rare on the show that Rock ever compliments me, but I did get one because he said I did some real prep for this show. Unfortunately, I did not.
No.
That is probably Shu who put
Nope.
this in.
Come on.
Or it was Manuch who put this
No.
in. Or it
I'm
was
learning.
Jax who put this.
No.
Oh, so
Dude,
it was
I knew
Rock.
99%
It
of
was
it.
Rock who
Manuch
did
does
this.
1% because he gets the guess and I do the rest.
So at any rate, my G2G bar for great performance is the Little League World Series as Florida wins it in extra innings. And I'll talk about it after you hear the play because the play pretty much tells the story. Here it is.
They bunt Alexander with the runner at second base, Norton. He gets it down. Oh, it's perfect. He's rolling away. Right there, he's going to win the Little League World Series championship. Chinese Taipei in shock. It was fielded and thrown to first base. Nobody was there on an incredible bunt by the last hitter in the order, Hunter Alexander. And for the first time, Florida are Little League World Series champions. 2-1 is the final.
Thank you to ESPN for that. It is an absolute incredible play, and the bunt was perfect. Down the first base line, first baseman charges, pitcher charges, and the second baseman, who should have gone to first to cover, did not. And when the pitcher fielded the ball, he turned and threw, and there was nobody at the bag. It allowed the winning run to score all the way from second base for the 2-1 victory. Thank you to Rock for doing that for me because I suck at it. And secondly, congratulations to the Florida Little Leaguers. They get the G2G bar for the performance that they had yesterday.
A walk-off bunt. How about that? All right, G2G protein bars. They want to send you to the Sun Devils home opener. They're giving away 4 tickets for Saturday night's game against Wyoming. 7:30 start. We'll take caller number 5 at 602-260-9191, 260-9191, and we'll send them directly to you, and you'll be set. You'll be able to hang out and watch ASU take on the Cowboys of Wyoming. So congrats on there. By the way, we have a 12-team college football predictor contest. It's free. All you got to do is predict all 12 college football teams in the exact order in which they're seeded. And if you get them seeded and you pick the winner and they win, you win $20,000. That's how it works. Or predict all 12 CFP teams in exact order in which seeded. You get $10,000, or predict all 12 teams and the winner, you get $1,000. So head to rockandmanuch.com. It's all up right there. First 1,000 people to enter. It's free. Don't miss your shot. Deadline is Thursday. I think it's going to be Thursday or Wednesday at like midnight. So you got to get in before the games start on Thursday.
Guys, what do you think about Aaron Judge, a chance at the Triple Crown? Hitting 333.
Yes.
Got the 51 home runs.
How many ribbies?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
But, I mean, here's a guy. I mean,
he's on pace
4
of
weeks,
63 right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
63.
he is, yeah.
So imagine the next 5 weeks.
Yes.
If he plays, if they start to run away with the division, if they rest him much, if at all. But he's hot. Last
All right,
2 weeks,
so let's throw this out there.
He's hot.
You know, if with another 50 homer season, he's now one of 5 players to hit 50 or more dingers in at least 3 seasons. Who are the other 4?
I'll say
this is legendary stuff.
I'll go Barry Bonds.
Nope.
Babe Ruth.
Yes.
Oh man.
Lou Gehrig on that list?
Nope.
Ooh.
Home run. Hank Greenberg?
Nope.
Okay. Went
The
back in the
gambler?
Aaron?
Guy from Miami?
Yeah. No.
How about Mark McGuire?
Yes, 2.
Yep.
Okay. Sammy Sosa?
3.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3.
And
4.
he's in the same world as Barry Bonds. A lot of people love him.
Oh, Reggie Jackson?
No.
Oh, same world. Oh.
Come on.
Man.
I got to interview him one day when he was a Texas Ranger.
Oh,
Manuch.
Oh.
Well,
God.
allegedly, I got to interview
What do you mean allegedly?
He was real tight with Madonna.
Oh, A-Rod.
Try A-Rod.
A-Rod.
2 minutes.
You did.
I
That
gotta
was a
bring
great
that
interview.
back.
You did.
So we used to
Yeah.
do these fake interviews, right?
Oh,
where
okay.
we had a really good producer who would literally
Unlike right
get
now.
cuts.
Yeah.
We don't have
Uh-huh.
one. Would do cuts. Would do cuts.
Easy.
Whoa. Would do these cuts.
Yeah.
Like start my
And then-
vacation early.
Then would have, yeah. So we would I think I interviewed Alex Rodriguez, Barry Bonds, who was it? Maybe Sammy Sosa.
Okay, Sammy.
So we would do these interviews.
Derek Jeter? Jeter?
Yeah,
Derek
Jeter.
Yeah.
Jeter.
Yeah, Derek Jeter.
And they were seamless. If you were just tuning in,
Yeah.
you would
have thought it was there. Wow.
I mean, that's when we all were together. We're all in the same building,
Yeah.
same office. We had time to do this. Now everybody's doing their own thing. But those are fun bits that we would do, once a month or something
That's
like that.
great.
But maybe
That's
Thursday,
great.
if I can find it, the A-Rod. Because the best was. I did Michael Phelps.
Yes, you
when
did,
he was
yeah.
smoking pot. That
Yeah.
was a good one.
Mhm.
But yeah, they're comical. Some of them we may not be able to play.
We had some good colognes by some major leaguers.
Oh,
Hey,
wow. Okay.
You guys brought up Babe
Minute.
Ruth.
Yeah.
Heritage Auctions. They sold his jersey where he so-called called his shot in the 32 World Series for $24.12 million.
It got that high.
It did. I mean, I've looked at that video, and you can clearly see on the video that he does gesture with his right arm.
He just
Oh,
gestures.
that clearly.
Well, it's grainy. It's grainy.
He gestures at the pitcher. He goes, "You bring it." Now the story is all the guys are still alive.
Yeah.
Is that the pitcher was talking smack?
Yeah.
To Babe at the plate.
No.
So Babe just looked at him and just said, "Hey, all right, just bring it," or like that. Just kind of slightly point. He didn't do no.
What do you got, Shu?
No, the bench, the bench was jarring at him. That's who he was pointing at. The bench, while he was in the box, was jarring at him, and that's where he was pointing at. And obviously, because of the grainy quality and the angle, it looks like he's pointing and calling his shot. But the bench was jarring at him during the at bat, and he was saying something to them. Boom! There you go. He hits the home run story
Well,
forever.
some buyer didn't believe that because he just paid $24 million. By the way, Hank Aaron's Milwaukee Braves rookie jersey also went on Saturday. That was 1954 for $2.1 million.
Wow. Hammer and
Real quick, as we go to break, the White Sox lost again yesterday, moving their record to 31-100. That is the earliest any Major League Baseball team has reached 100 losses. No team in Major League Baseball history has reached the 100 loss mark earlier than August 29th.
That's amazing. They are so bad.
Hey, Rob Manfred, you want to look into that ownership group?
Yeah, really.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on. They'll be fine. All right, coming up next. Oh, by the way, Martin Mastro, congrats. You are going to watch the Sun Devils play the Cowboys on Saturday. Appreciate you listening, buddy, and I'll get those tickets over to you during the break. All right, coming up, we're going to catch up with Craig Fouie for Factor Fouie. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Clear. Oh. Here's what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
Cardinals quarterback Desmond Ridder cleared concussion protocols after absorbing a hard hit in yesterday's preseason finale. The deadline to whittle the roster down to 53 players is Tuesday. The Mercury returned to the court tonight to face the WNBA best New York Liberty. Phoenix signed Monique Billings for the rest of the season. The Diamondbacks get today off out of their series sweep of the Red Sox. They'll put their 6-game win streak on the line in tomorrow's opener against the Mets. Eduardo Rodriguez slated for the start. College football gets started on Saturday. ASU hosting Wyoming, Arizona entertaining New Mexico. I'm Seth Everett on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Jenny!
Hey, Jenny!
Jenny, come on in! Steve!
Hey, Steve!
Steve, how you doing?
Meg!
Meg, nice to see you. Hey, Meg.
Arena Sports Grill. Come on out for the sports, off-track betting, incredible food, and friendly faces. The best daily specials in Scottsdale. Arena Sports Grill, 62nd Street in Bell. We know you.
Is it time for an all-in-one wireless printer with tons of connectivity options? With Document Solutions of the Valley, you can buy, lease, or rent models that work off of your smartphone. Call 623-252-8282. Document Solutions of the Valley. Our service can't be copied.
Choosing the right lawyer after a car wreck is important. You need to consider the law firm's experience, results, and reputation. Lerner Rowe stands above other law firms when it comes to experience and results, helping over 150,000 people recover billions of dollars for their injuries. When it comes to reputation, we have thousands of 5-star reviews, and year after year, we have been voted best personal injury law firm in Arizona. Call us today and let us put our experience, proven results, and reputation to work for you.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Introducing Smidge, the game-changing, ready-to-drink beverage that's shaking up the market. With just 2.5% alcohol and only 50 calories in a 12-ounce serving, Smidge is perfect for the sober curious. Smidge better taste, fewer calories, and double the fun. Try it today.
Craving a sandwich that packs a punch? Welcome to Knuckle Sandwiches in Mesa. We're not your typical sandwich shop. All their menu items are made in-house using family recipes passed down for generations. Taste the difference in every bite. And we don't stop at sandwiches. Enjoy our mouth-watering breakfast burritos and delicious bagel sandwiches. Plus, we cater all over the valley for your next event. Find us at 1140 North Higley in North Point Village, next to Bashis, or skip the line and order online at knucklesandwichesaz.com. Knuckle Sandwiches. This is the knuckle sandwich your parents should have given you.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Don't let erectile dysfunction impact your performance. It's a common medical condition and there's no shame in seeking help. Arizona Urology Specialists. Personal care for life's most personal issues. Visit ArizonaURO.com or call 602-887-2160.
The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help you troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light for free and help you save time and money down the road. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Now back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, live from the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Dive into parlays, futures, and prop bets on all your favorite sports. Catch every moment on one of our 46 stunning 4K screens. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar, your sports fans' paradise. It's time for Fact or Phooey with ABC 15 Sports Director Craig Phooey. Phooey joins the guys each Monday to break down the top stories of the weekend. And as a reminder, Manuch writes the questions. Now here's ABC 15's Craig Phooey.
That's right, ABC 15 Sports Director Craig Phooey. You can follow him on X and Twitter at Phooey on Sports. He joins us down the right to the guest line. All right, Phooey. 10-2. You ready? 10-2.
Okay.
All right. This is a tough one.
10-2. Yeah.
10-2.
I think I'm on that.
Seatbelt. All right. D-backs 26-8 since the All-Star break. 16-14 over the last 20 games. 6 wins in a row. Should skipper Torey Lovello be the leading candidate for the National League Manager of the Year? Fact or Phooey?
Wow.
Right out of
wow.
the gate.
Absolutely. Right? I mean, Torey Lovello has guided this team through injury after injury after injury. Guys have been out for months at a time, and they're still 3 games back of the Dodgers and top of their list in the wild card. This team is unbelievable. Yeah, Torey Lovello, Manager of the Year, no question.
Okay, so you never said the word fact. So we need to make sure this is all legit. You said absolutely. Fact. All right, fact. All right, we got that down.
All right, Coach. All right, question
I'll stick to the game plan.
Thank you,
Coach. All right, question number 2 was wise the D-backs not to panic and move third baseman Gino Suarez early in the year, since his last name Gino Suarez early in the year. Since his last 10 games, he's hitting .349, 15 hits, 3 dingers, 15 RBIs, and 8 runs scored. Fact or Phooey?
So what was the question?
Yeah, exactly.
And he wants you to read it again, Manu.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
It was wise for the D-backs
So
not
what?
to panic and move
Oh,
third
it was
baseman.
wise.
Yes.
Oh, it was wise.
Yes.
Okay, that's the part I missed. I got so buried in the rabbit hole of stats, I forgot. Was it wise? Yes.
Fact or
Fact. Hindsight is 2020. Hindsight is 2020. Fact. Suarez has been phenomenal lately. Yes.
All right.
Unbelievable.
2 facts.
There you go. Well, at least it wasn't Rico Suave, so you're off and running. There you go. Here we go.
Eugenio
Question.
Suarez.
That's it. Yes. This weekend's LA Dodgers 4-game series. Remember, I didn't write these, Fooey. Will determine who will win the NL West this year. Fact or Fooey?
Fact.
Wow.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Jimmy B.
Yeah.
All right. He's going
Here's the thing. The D-backs are on fire. The Dodgers are great. I mean, they have Shohei Ohtani, who's just been knocking the laces off the ball. But they get to play at home here. And obviously, we remember last year in the playoffs how the D-backs went out there and swept them in L.A. This is going to be tough because I'm not sure the Dodgers really have that suave.
Yes, Rico
Swag.
Suave. Yes, yeah.
to come in here and beat the D-backs. So I'm going to go with the D-backs on this. And obviously the D-backs are 3 games back today, right now as we sit. So if they can get this series this weekend, then it's a 2-horse race to the finish.
All right. Number 4. We got 3 facts in a row. Will it be 4? ASU football should be greatly improved and will win 6 games and be in a bowl game. Fact or Fooey?
Fooey on that. Sorry, guys.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
Damn.
Listen. Vegas has them at 4.5 wins. They won 3 the last couple of years. They brought a whole bunch of new guys in, somewhere around 79 new guys to the roster. Sam Levitt is the quarterback. Yet to be seen how he plays out here. They're going into the Big 12. They've got Wyoming Saturday night. Should be a good win for them at home. Wyoming's a pretty good football team last year. So we'll see what they have coming back and how good they are. But I just don't want to shoot for the fences yet with this team. Kenny Dillingham and his staff have done a great job recruiting guys. They have more depth. I'm just not sure how good their starting lineup is yet. So we won't find that out for a couple, 3 weeks into the season. But I'm not ready to go to 6 wins in a bowl game quite yet.
All right, Coach, last question. With the Cardinals 0-3 in preseason and only scoring a total of 4 touchdowns should pose some concern about this team improving upon last year's record. Fact or Fooey?
Fact. Listen, I mean, we went through this with Cliff Kingsbury in his first year. He didn't want to play the starters in the preseason, right? Didn't get the starters out there. They played all backup guys. They went into that first game against the Lions and just looked abysmal, right? They just did not look good. And I'm concerned about just the tempo, the speed, and you guys know this is different in a game than it is in practice. And so I think you're going to Buffalo. You know, it's not like you're starting against the Sisters of the Poor. You're going to Buffalo to play up there against the Bills, who have been a perennial playoff team lately. So I think it would have been wise to give them a quarter here and there, maybe a couple quarters throughout the 3 games. But again, Vegas has them at 6.5 wins. I think if they get to 7-8 wins, it's going to be improvement and it's going to look like a better season. But I would have played the starters just a little bit in the preseason.
Coach, and don't you think when you think back, you talked about that Detroit game. I look back a couple years ago when the Kansas City Chiefs came in for the very first game of the year. They looked like a poised, polished midseason team, and they literally just schooled the Arizona Cardinals. It was a home game over at State Farm in that very first game. Night and day, the philosophy of seeing the Chiefs, i.e. one Andy Reid versus then Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah, no, it is. And Jonathan Gannon's doing the same thing, right? Not playing guys, having them go out there and warm up, and then that's that. Go shower and watch from the sidelines. It's everybody's got a different philosophy on this. I just think when you're in year 2 and you're building, there's a lot of hope at team headquarters in Tempe. There's a lot of hope going on. People are very high inside that building on this team. A lot of fans here in the Valley are high on this team. They bring back some great players on offense. We'll see how the offensive line holds up because the game is still about blocking and tackling. The defense has not looked good in the preseason. And a lot of the guys playing out there were backups. Second teamers are going to get a lot of reps, and they just have not looked very good. So I would be concerned going into the first game without having more reps with the starters.
Fooey, where are you on the backup quarterback situation? Because both of them look dreadful at times here in the preseason. Look, we know what Kyler Murray is. He is QB1, but he also has a propensity to get dinged up from time to time. I'm not sold on either one of those guys.
No, listen, Kyler has not been healthy since 2020, maybe.
Yeah.
Throughout a season. So he's been dinged up every year. It's part of that. Every quarterback is. I'm not just blaming Kyler Murray, right? There was, I want to say 70 some quarterbacks that started a game last year in the NFL from 32 teams. So quarterbacks get hurt, right? It's part of the deal. So far, I would go with Clayton Tune as my 2, Desmond Ridder as 3, but I'd be out there on the market looking for somebody that ends up on a practice squad here or gets cut tomorrow. I'd be looking to see if there's somebody out there that might be better than those 2 guys.
Bowie, as always, thanks for improving the program, buddy. Have a good week.
All right, you guys, take care.
That's Greg Bowie, ABC 15, joining us here as, again, he feels the same as a lot of people do, cautious when it comes to Arizona State football. You know, Wyoming is a good football team. They went 9-4 last year. Greg Bowl did a great job there. He retired in December after they won a bowl game. He won 4 out of 6 bowl games as a head coach there for such a long time.
Yep.
His son is now the defensive coordinator. The offensive coordinator is a guy from Michigan State who came over after 3 years there. They also have a new head coach who has been in the organization for the last 3 years. They have a lot of guys returning. Their running back is back.
Sure.
Their quarterback is not bad. He's back, but has some time. He didn't play a lot last year. But I'd be anxious to see if this team is still intact because of they were 9-4 last year.
Yep.
Again, their competition is a little different, but I think they had a real big upset early on last year. Who
Is
was
there
that?
Texas Tech.
Texas
Yeah,
Tech.
at home.
So,
at home.
Yeah.
Is
so-
there competition, though, that much different than what Arizona State is used to playing? I mean, there's some good teams in the Mountain West.
Well, I think a lot of it
There
depends
are.
on the portal they had, the
Yeah,
transfers and portal.
exactly.
And I think, we looked at this Georgia Tech game, Florida State. It's amazing what the portal and the transfers will do, or free agency, as they call it,
Right.
college football, how that'll balance out or even out these football games. So there's no longer the ASUs of the world getting all the star athletes because if they don't have the NIL money. And then you got Wyoming might get 3 or 4 guys because they're paying them some money
Sure.
to somewhat even out the field. But Wyoming's going to be tough. It's not going to be any
How
kind
do
of
you say the
gimme.
coach's name? Is it Jason Saulville? I don't know because he's been at DC at Minnesota, Wake Forest, and then of course at Wyoming. So this is his first head coaching job, but they haven't had much turnover.
No,
I mean,
and that's
To
key.
be familiar with the coaching staff and your players could make a big difference.
And think about that. If you can keep your staff together, I mean, think of Coach Gannon over the Cardinals. He's got his entire staff together
He
for the
does.
Cardinals
Yep.
to keep that continuity. And for a college coach, not to have his guys, drifting off to go get a better opportunity somewhere. Because in college, if you're going to move on, you got to move up it can't be a lateral per se, but you move on unless you get fired. But again, it's going to be a tough game. Wyoming was tough last year.
They love to run the ball. They were 7-0 last season when they rushed for 170 yards or more. They were 0-14 if they don't hit the 130 mark.
Sure.
So that's going to be key for the Sun Devils to be able to stop the run.
And a new offensive coordinator in Coach Arroyo,
Great.
who was a former head coach at UNLV, to have him there to see what differences they're going to have with him and his offense. So I think Kenny Dillingham, as head coach, wants to focus more on the run, pound the run. Arroyo does that, but he can air it out. But again, it's just a matter of you got a lot of new faces, young faces they're starting for ASU, and hopefully they keep it clean. You see some physicality, and they don't give up the big play.
You can't take them light.
Not at all.
This isn't one of those early season games that a lot of teams schedule. That's a W. It's a payday. Yeah, it is still a payday, but not quite the same. When
It's not
a team like
Savannah
that.
State.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Lindenwood taking on
Or-
KU.
yeah, Lindenwood.
this weekend. Lindenwood, Missouri, by
That's
the way.
it.
A Philly is courtesy of Twin Peaks, 5 Valley locations. We will be at which location on
We're gonna be
Thursday?
Glendale.
Glendale.
Yeah,
Okay.
Glendale
All right.
location.
We're taking a little road trip on Thursday. I may have something come up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got some things to take care of
Man,
this week,
take
don't
care-
you?
no,
yeah.
I'm just
Why does that not shock me?
A reminder, sign up for our free annual Pro Football Pick'em contest. It's free. And, of course, it's brought to you by Blue Moon and Coors Light and Twin Peaks. Your chance to win $5,000. We have weekly prizes as well, Twin Peaks gift cards. Head to fanpick'em.com. FanPick'em.com, our 16th year, I believe, us hosting Fan Pick'em. It's free. Weekly prize. There's also a Survivor contest in there, too. Coming up next, Casey Walsh from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. He's going to talk to us about some of the NFL preseason games from the weekend, as well as look ahead.
Win your way to our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One. September 20th and 21st.
T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
Keep listening for your next chance to be there.
Sponsored by Redbird Farms Chicken. Turn up the flavor with Redbird Farms Chicken. Available at your local grocer. Our chicken is juicy, tender, and delicious. Just like the iHeartRadio Music Festival, our chicken hits all the right notes and brings people together. Redbird Farms Chicken. What real chicken tastes like.
Join the team at the largest towing company in the state, All City Towing. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service personnel. Enjoy benefits like the state's most advanced towing equipment, set work schedules, a healthy 401k, employer match, health benefits, employer-paid life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Ready to take your career to the next level? Visit us at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is on the move.
Roll the dice every Monday night for your chance to win $9,100. Join Roc, Manuch, Jimmy B, and friends at the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. It's a thrilling night filled with fun, friends, and big prizes. Don't miss out.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late night fights.
What's up, guys? Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing. Monsoon season is here, which means my team and I are ready to serve you and your family. Go to state48roofing.com, scan the QR code below. We'll see you up on your roof.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
I can't believe tax season is here already. Look at all this info I have to enter.
Phil's small accounting firm is growing in numbers.
Why didn't I take that typing class in high school?
A data entry specialist could really help him in a crunch.
I got blisters on my fingers.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Now back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, live from the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Dive into parlays, futures, and prop bets on all your favorite sports. Catch every moment on one of our 46 stunning 4K screens. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar, your sports fans' paradise. Time for the best bets, locks, and daily wager picks, courtesy of the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. Now joining the guys is CAZ Sportsbook expert Casey Walsh.
From Boston.
Exclusively on Fox Sports 910.
Anything possible! You're hot.
Casey Walsh joined us, big Boston fan. Did you happen to see Bill Belichick on Pat McAfee show this morning? Did you is that appointment television for you? Because I know you miss him.
No, I didn't see it this morning.
He was outstanding. He was on for like a good 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And just broke it down and talked about the taxes in Massachusetts and things like that. He kind of went. He did talk football. It was kind of fun.
Who knew? He had personality.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Exactly.
I tried to tell everybody that when he wasn't doing his thing after a game, the guy has a personality.
Do you happen to have any conversations with him?
I told you I did. I've told you.
We don't
and
believe
you guys.
you.
Well, see,
because you have no facts.
Your belief, what you say is like 0.5%.
Yeah, we don't know.
I told you after the game, I'm interviewing him one-on-one. He was great. I told you that story. And you
you-
guys just
so-
blow it off like it's nothing.
Well, it is really at the end of the day. I mean, when you play golf with your friends, you tell these you embellish the stories with them too.
I don't embellish because I don't have to.
Because you say, "Oh, I played golf with Tiger Woods back in."
No, I didn't do that.
All right, it's just Casey's. This is Casey's time.
Yes,
all right?
I know.
All right, first of all, it's just one game we'll talk about, and then we'll move ahead. Arizona and Denver. How did the book do?
The book lost money on that game. Yesterday was a pretty bad day for the book preseason wise. A lot of people were actually taking the Redskins on the money line before the game started, as well as taking them at halftime as high as plus 600.
Wow.
So for the Commanders, they enjoyed some money, fans, because you said.
Oh, big time.
Redskins.
Yeah, we
Okay.
had like 6 people in here with their Jaden Daniels jerseys on.
Oh, geez.
He
didn't even play.
Yeah,
I know.
All right, let's look ahead. First game of the week 1, I should say. It'll be Colorado and North Dakota State, the Bison. That's the early game, and then also at the same time, you got Minnesota taking on UNC. But the one that I want to talk about right now is Colorado. Of course, Deion Sanders on Friday there's a lot of minutia is going around that program right now, and it got a little heavy today on all the talk shows. We were all over it on Friday. All right, this game right now, Colorado minus 9.5. Where do you see most of the action right now?
So far, people have been all over Colorado here. I don't expect them to be as popular of a team this year as they were last year, but you still got people betting them. I think figuring that it's a FCS team, that they should dominate, but it's definitely not a team they should sleep on. And I think if they lose this game, they're in for a long year.
Look, North Dakota State, they always can play.
Yeah,
all
is
of
their
those
Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, I mean those teams. North Dakota State has gone in and beaten teams. They went in and beat Nebraska a few years back at Nebraska, and yeah, they beat Kansas State as well. Yes,
so we hired their head coach.
Yeah, you did.
Can't beat him.
Yeah,
join
I
him.
mean, don't sleep. You're right. Don't sleep on North Dakota State.
Our team that's not getting a lot of play this offseason is Clemson. It's been real quiet. They open up at Georgia. Thoughts on this one? It's the spread's 13.5. Is that a little high, or do you think that's about right for a Bulldog team that's a little pissed off going into the season?
Yeah, I think it's about right now. I think Georgia's far and above a better team in this matchup. Clemson, to me, has lost a lot of the aurora they've had the last few years. But I definitely think you'll see a lot of Georgia money coming in. But I also think you'll see line movement in that game one way or another throughout the week.
Do you think that there'll be cab service to make sure the Georgia players can get to the stadium without getting a DUI?
Yeah, they'll have to do something there.
They got a lot of kids that have been busted.
Yeah, in the last year, off-season, everything. Yep.
In-state rivalries, Florida and Miami. Miami -3. Who do you like in this one? You. I don't care about the book.
Honestly, I like Miami. I think Miami has a shot at the ACC this year. I think they're kind of a dark horse there. Florida, I don't expect to be very good. They're probably a 5-win team at best.
A big game Saturday afternoon. Notre Dame at Texas A&M. Currently, A&M -3, 46.5 as far as the over. Is that because former K-State quarterback Colin Klein's offensive coordinator at Texas A&M?
I think that definitely has a part of it. This game actually had one of the biggest swings. Notre Dame before the season over the summer was actually a -3 favorite.
And it's flipped.
So it's flipped 6 points the opposite direction. So
How
you've
does
definitely
that
seen
happen?
all the sharp money. The
Oh.
professional bettors all got in ahead of time, and they moved that line quite a bit. Just like 2 other games they really took advantage of was Eastern Michigan against UMass this weekend, and Nevada as well was +15. They got them down now to +9.
Okay.
So that was a big swing.
The other big game, LSU and USC. I mean, I can't wait for that game.
Yeah, I can't wait. That should be a great game on Sunday. I would probably lean that way, probably LSU. I mean, USC, their defense, what are they going to be like this year? I mean, if they line up correctly, it's better than last year. So I still think LSU is a better team than people think. It's just more of a question mark at the quarterback position.
63.5 over-under. Is that high for opening game weekend? But are you just looking at both the teams, USC and LSU? 63.5 over-under. Is that high first weekend, you think?
Not as much. Not for a game like this. They're
Okay.
going off of, some things, I mean, a lot of the stuff's factored in. It means nothing to us, but like the spring practices, things like that, they watch that, they know all that. I think it'll be a high-scoring game.
2 new quarterbacks for each team.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Mason Miller though is a really good QB for the Trojans. He really is.
I think the game that everybody's going to be watching, 12:30 kickoff on the ACC network, Ohio Bobcats at Syracuse, the Orange. 17.5, my Bobcats are getting. Who are you liking at?
Let's take the Bobcats.
Yeah!
You know, you look at some of those games like the Furman, Ole Miss, UT Martin, K-State, Idaho, Oregon. There's nothing on the board at all yet.
Yeah, so a lot of those types of games, when it comes to that, when Division I's playing like a FCS school,
Right.
they're not going to release it till the day of the game.
Okay.
Because a lot of that stuff,
The actual day of the game.
yeah, stuff like that. Like the Colorado one is a little different, but all these FCS, you won't see anything bare minimal till Thursday at the earliest. A lot of our stuff won't go up until the day of the game because a lot of those lines get steamed as soon as they're released.
When you say steamed, everybody just jumps on them immediately.
Yeah, like a lot of the sharps, they look for those games. So on
Okay.
those games, for instance, the totals and the spreads, you'll see those move anywhere from probably 6 to 7 points.
Do you have a pretty good idea where those will be at, you think? Yeah, pretty much.
Where the odds will be?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have it. They just don't release it because they don't want to give four days in advance for people to bet it.
He's Casey Walsh, part of the sports book here at the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. No better place in the valley to catch all the action. You bet the game, watch the game. Sportsbook here in Casino, Arizona. They got 3 live betting windows, 6 self-service betting kiosks, plus 8 screens that display all the betting lines. So check it out for yourself. Also, 46 4K screens, so you can follow your wagers on one of the big screens
30
that are here as well. 2 theater quality projection screens. It's all here in Casino, Arizona. It's our home every Monday. So check it out. Coming up in hour number 3,
20.
we start with the D-backs, hottest team in baseball. Then we'll get into some Cardinals. Rudy Carpenter and Frank Sanders will stop by. Fox Sports 910.
Clear.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B has been sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing.
Kick off the football season with Twin Peaks, Roc, Manuch, Jimmy B, and Fox Sports 910 for our fantastic tailgating sweepstakes. Text PEAKS to 59925 for your chance to win a Traeger grill, Blackstone griddle, and more. No purchase necessary. Details at rockandmanuch.com.
Year after year, Lerner Rowe is voted best personal injury law firm in Arizona. You may wonder why. The answer is quite simple. Lerner Rowe is so popular because we give every client excellent service and a superior experience. But also the main reason is results. We've recovered billions of dollars for our clients with over $1 billion collected in the last 5 years alone. Our phone lines are always open and our legal team is standing by right now, waiting for your call.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
If you haven't tried G2G protein bars, today is the day. Find them in your local Costco's refrigerated section or online at g2gbar.com. Incredible taste and packed with protein. They are perfect for your on-the-go lifestyle. Check them out today.
We had the appetizer last week. Now it's time to feast. College football is back, and don't miss any of the action. Jump in with DraftKings Sportsbook. It's a full slate of games for week 1, including the big matchup in Atlanta between the preseason number 1 and number 16. This is going to be DraftKings' biggest college football season to date. Enjoy the ride now all the way through the expanded playoffs. Plus, all newbies getting into the college football spirit. Here's something extra special. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Score big with DraftKings all college football season long. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code 910. That's code 910 for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus, Arizona only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball.
Help the planet with a tip from iHeartRadio Earth. Education doesn't just take place in the classroom. There are many ways children of all ages can learn about sustainability and the environment at home. Visit iHeartRadio.com/Earth for a list of resources, activity guides, and toolkits that are educational and fun for the whole family. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living, or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/Earth.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting from the Raffi Law Group Studios. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD3 Phoenix.
Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports talk, podcasts, and music.
Free never sounded so good.
Mercury returned to the court tonight to face the WNBA best New York Liberty. Phoenix signed Monique Billings for the rest of the season. The Diamondbacks get today off out of their series sweep of the Red Sox. They'll put their 6-game win streak on the line in tomorrow's opener against the Mets. Eduardo Rodriguez slated for the start. Cardinals quarterback Desmond Ridder cleared concussion protocols after absorbing a hard hit in yesterday's preseason finale. The deadline to whittle the roster down to 53 players is Tuesday. College football gets started on Saturday. ASU hosting Wyoming, Arizona entertaining New Mexico. I'm Seth Everett on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For tonight, look for mostly clear skies, temperatures dipping down into the low 80s. And then for your Tuesday, another warm day with temperatures slightly above those seasonal averages, topping out at 108 degrees with mostly sunny skies. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Arizona Game and Fish Department. Arizona offers unlimited opportunities to fish, from ponds and reservoirs to rivers and lakes. No matter if you're a beginner or a pro, a fishing license is your passport to all the great spots to cast the line in Arizona. Buy your fishing license today at azgfd.gov.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B is sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing. Now back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, live from the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Dive into parlays, futures, and prop bets on all your favorite sports. Catch every moment on one of our 46 stunning 4K screens. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar, your sports fans' paradise.
Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing. And is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all.
602-977-1900.
And always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. On Sports 910.
D-backs, they finished off a 3-game sweep of the Red Sox yesterday in Boston. They return home to battle the Mets tomorrow and then the Dodgers on the weekend. And the Cards closed out a winless preseason as they fell to the Broncos 38-12. Welcome in hour number 3, Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B out here at Casino, Arizona. As coming up this hour, Rudy Carpenter will stop by and Frank Sanders. So we'll talk a lot of Cardinal football. But let's start with D-backs now, as this D-back team is just rolling, and it's hard to believe that we are basically in a scenario similar to where we were last year, where this team got real hot. They are currently the hottest team in baseball. They've won 20 of their past 25 games, 11 of their past 12 series, and suddenly they hold the top spot in the National League wild card, and they are just behind the Dodgers, so they're creeping up on them. And, of course, they're getting hot at the right time. And if this can continue, we're going to have fun in the Valley, because I think it's pretty safe to say I don't think the Cardinals are going to do well the first couple months. So I think we should turn our attention to the Diamondbacks.
Well, think about last year. I think the other side of it, Rock, they were struggling this time last year. Remember, they were hot up front. Last year, last year we're like, damn.
Yeah.
You know, they're fading like tissue paper in a rainstorm,
They
right?
were, yep.
But to your point, Rock, 16-4 the last 20 games, 34-13 since July 1st. And you look at this team, and you're doing without, Gabby Marino in the lineup, without Ketel Marte in the lineup, Christian Walker out of the lineup. And guys are stepping up and producing. The Jake McCarthy's of the world, he got hot. Suarez, he's been hot. You see,
can we just play that Grand Slam? That's all we need to play.
Again.
Let's just play the Grand Slam. That was on Friday. And since July 7th, he's got a Major League best 45 RBIs. And this is a hell of an accomplishment when this guy was, 196 in early July?
Floundering.
Below the Mendoza line.
Yeah.
Suarez hits a fly ball, left field, and that one is gone into the monster seats for a grand slam.
You think about this team, they were one game above 500 on July 22nd. Okay, that's just over a month ago. They were 51-50. And if the season had ended that day, they would have finished 6th in the wild card standing, and there would be no postseason. But now after we mentioned all those wins, 24 in the last 30 games. They're way up in the standings, and they are a virtual lock right now at making the playoffs and could win another pennant.
Yeah, and if they can stay hot, get everybody healthy, everybody stays healthy. That was key for them last year.
But you say that, Manuch, but here they are with arguably their three top offensive players
I agree.
hurt.
And they're doing it, and it's not smoke and mirrors. They're crushing the baseball.
They are.
You look at Suarez the last 10 games. I mean, he's hitting 349, 15 hits, 3 home runs, 15 RBI. Top of that, 8 runs scored. As you mentioned, Rock, you're hitting a $197, 2 months ago. A lot of folks were concerned, hey, guy's a hell of a fielder, hell of an arm. When's he going to start hitting? And I think that, whatever he had to work out, whether it was work ethic or studying the pitching or being more focused or being more selective. That's one of the things. He's more selective in his at-bats really over the last month when you watch him. And I think the Diamondbacks hitters have become more selective since that stat you threw out that they were back before the All-Star break and 26-8 now after the All-Star break. So I think forward scouting has helped them with pitchers. Their hitting coaches really, it's a different looking group of hitters no matter who's in there as far as selective pitching.
I think the key to all this is winning the series. You know, 11-1. I think it's pretty obvious, right? It's like gambling. You want to win more than you lose. If you go 500, if you go 600%, 60%, you're up. And that's what's happening. Is they're just to go 14-1-1 in their past 16 series.
Amazing. That's amazing.
This is, I don't know. I don't know if we're used to this kind of baseball in this city.
Well, maybe we start getting used to it, that this team can continue to be this hot. And with the 7-game homestand, 3 against the Mets and the 4 against the Dodgers, I really believe that what sets the tone or sets the table.
Don't sleep on the Mets, though.
Yeah, well, no, but I mean, just you think of the with the National League West,
right?
You look at that, and the Dodgers are getting healthy. They're hot. Padres are still hot.
They're still winning.
I mean, it's the best division of Major League Baseball. But I think that I really like you see health-wise, you see the guys filling in, and then the pitching on top of it. Kelly, what do you go, 6 innings through over 100 pitches? Solid outing for him. You got Montgomery going to the bullpen. Nelson now is part of that rotation. So I think a lot of minds are settled for these guys going into these last, 4-5 weeks of the regular season. And I think for Torey Lovullo and his staff to go, okay, we pretty much got everybody where we want. This guy can fill in here. When this guy gets healthy, we'll have that experience from a lot of the guys that have someone had to pick up the slack. So Walker comes back, power and home runs. You got Ketel Marte comes back. You look at Moreno comes back. They're doing this without the big top dogs, as you said, Rock. And I think that's what's vitally important, the blessing in disguise to have these guys that have been producing available once they get to the playoffs.
I'm going to tip my cap to Shu back in the studio, and the reason is because we had so many discussions about in the first half of the season about this team struggling, about this team's injuries, and they were still scuffling along, but winning enough to stay in contact of that wild card spot. Shu came on the show, and I remember it distinctly, and he said, this is a win-win right now for this team. And then he explained why, what I just talked about. They were still in it, even with all of the bad karma that had gone on. Now we get to the second half of the season following the All-Star break, and this team now is playing the way that fans thought they were going to play at the beginning of the year, but they have put it all together here in the second half.
And Corbin Carroll was hitting maybe $150. And you also
he was terrible.
And Suarez was hitting a buck, as you mentioned, $197. Yeah. I mean, just to kind of hold serve, if you will.
It's very well said. I do want to make a point. We're going on 20 years, right, Manuch?
Yes.
I've never been around a co-host that kisses more ass to our producer than Jimmy B.
He must have.
I know why. Because he thinks it may help on Fridays for the rewind.
So how does that impact me? Exactly.
You mean there'll be a good, bad, and indifferent at Jimmy B?
Yeah, it's just like a good, bad, and ugly, which I think we should get into the good, bad, and ugly as we shift gears into the Cardinals. Of course, they lost to the Broncos 38-12. I think the good is Hassan Hall. He had a 2-yard TD. Here's that. We got something good.
Getting over. On third down, Hall to the outside. He's in for a touchdown.
Yeah, I think
So
that's
after
positive.
spending
One
over
touchdown
3
there. I think you got to look at Cameron Thomas, the 2022 third-round pick. He racked up a sack and 3 tackles. He's done well.
Had a very good preseason. He's been all over the place.
The ugly is for this Cardinals defense to allow Zach Wilson to shred him. 251 yards, 2 touchdowns, 16 to 25 passing, 22 yards rushing, and a touchdown on 2 carries.
And so many guys basically out of position on some of those throws. That one touchdown, I feel, one kid, that safety was supposed to be the deep safety to cover 2, was chasing the receiver. I barely got to it. I mean, kid's got arm talent, but you got Zach Wilson lighting you up. It's like 7-on-7, like shooting fish out of a barrel.
All right, so I asked you this before the show began, so now I'll bring it up on the show. Has he shown enough, if indeed the Broncos say, okay, you're the odd man out, that somebody grabs him right away?
I think that Sean Payton, I think Payton keeps him.
Okay.
Because now, I don't know if you guys saw, the new rule is that as far as the emergency quarterback,
yes,
that's going away. So that quarterback this week, during the week's got to be part of the 53-man roster. So if he feels
what day? Thursday?
I think it's by Wednesday or Thursday, one of the two. Remember they had the emergency rule.
They had that rule.
Yeah,
that was the Brock Purdy rule.
Yeah, that they could. Yeah, when he got hurt and
Yes.
Johnson was the other. So now, if you don't, who's your emergency quarterback going to be?
Hey, real quick, as we get to our good, bad, and ugly from Sunday and on the Cardinals. I almost said the Yotes. Cardinals. Here's Clayton Tune, who had to come back into the game because Desmond Ridder got hurt and throws this pick 6.
First down and 10. Tune intercepted. Picked off by LaVelle Bailey. A cutback. Being chased from behind, and Bailey is going to go.
You're hot. So there you have it, the ugly for the Cardinals, and they'll get ready for Buffalo. Some national news, the Cowboys and all-pro wide receiver CeeDee Lamb have agreed to a deal, a 4-year, $136 million deal, which now makes him the second highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. His deal did include a $38 million signing bonus, which is the largest that's ever been given to a wide receiver. That would have been a little less if they could have signed him 3 months ago,
Heck
2
yeah.
months ago.
So who's left? Ayuk is left.
Ayuk.
So does he go?
Ayuk is
does
on
he
fire.
go to? Does he go to Does he go to the Patriots on a trade? Should say offer the most money? Go to Pittsburgh, and the Niners aren't going to pay that kind of money for Brandon Ayuk.
No, they won't. But can you recall what the deal was that New England was offering?
They said it was substantially higher than what the Niners had offered him and what Pittsburgh was offering.
Okay, substantially higher.
Well, guys, you mentioned Brandon Ayuk. Jamar Chase still hasn't gotten paid yet.
No, he hasn't.
So now this happens, it only hurts the Bengals even more.
It does.
Because Jamar Chase is on that echelon, I think, of Justin Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
He is interesting. Hey, our headlines this hour brought to you by the Twin Peaks fantastic tailgating sweepstakes. Kick off the football season with us, Blue Moon and Coors Light. All you got to do is text PEAKS to 59925 every day for your chance to win an amazing prize: a Traeger grill, a Blackstone griddle, a pizza oven, a cornhole set, a portable beer pong table, an outdoor projector with an inflatable screen, a cooler, a Twin Peaks $250 gift card, and multiple cases of Cocoa 5 and logoed Wild Gear tumblers of Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. No purchase necessary. Text PEAKS to 59925. Standard message and data rates apply. You can only do it once a day, so do it now and enjoy this football season at Twin Peaks. Coming up, Rudy Carpenter will discuss what he saw in Sunday's loss to the Broncos, and then Frank Sanders. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910.
Valley traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
We have a new accident in the West Valley, southbound Loop 101 at the Bell Road off-ramp. As you are getting off the freeway, the right lane's blocked off there. A car fire in the East Valley, 202 southbound near Guadalupe Road, and a crash with injuries on Thunderbird west
This
of 80.
report is sponsored by True Green. If you want a great-looking lawn next spring, now is the perfect time to get started, and nobody makes it easier or more affordable to get a green, healthy lawn than True Green. Sign up today for an annual plan and get 50% off one application. Visit truegreen.com today. Restrictions apply.
Looking for a place where everyone is welcome? Come to Azul Bar and Grill in Phoenix. Not your typical sports bar, Azul is the ultimate hangout spot for friends and families alike. Enjoy live music, catch your favorite games, play some fun games, and savor delicious food in a vibrant atmosphere. Visit us at 3134 West Carefree Highway in the Tremonto Plaza. Don't miss out on our daily events and specials at azulgrill.com. Azul Bar and Grill, a great time, but a better time with you.
Tune in Thursdays at 1:30 p.m. for the Crest Insurance Group Sun Devil Report with Coach Charlie Rago. Crest Insurance. Coverage you can trust, service you can count on. Every Thursday on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at wrighttoyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out wrighttoyota.com.
Got a burning urge to pick games each week? Sign up now for Twin Peaks Fan Pick'em, brought to you by Blue Moon and Coors Light. It's totally free to play. Win weekly Twin Peaks fan cards and season-long prizes, including $5,000 cash. Visit fanpick'em.com.
Sun Devil football is back. Don't miss a minute of the action when Sun Devil football returns to Mountain America Stadium as a member of the Big 12 Conference to take on the Wyoming Cowboys Saturday, August 31st at 7:30 p.m.
Scadaboo with the catch, has the first down, stays on his feet, and he's going to go. Touchdown, Devils!
Get your ASU Wyoming tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Kick off fall with Labor Day deals happening now at Lowe's. Right now, buy one, get one free on select interior paint via Lowe's gift card rebate for your next paint project. Plus, don't miss out on select one-pint annuals. Get 5 for only $5. Shop these can't-miss deals today before they're gone. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 9/4 while supplies last. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details.
Hey, this is Lincoln Kennedy. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
College football gets started on Saturday. ASU hosting Wyoming and Arizona entertaining New Mexico. The Diamondbacks put their 6-game win streak on the line in tomorrow's opener against the Mets. MLB history was made today when Red Sox catcher Danny Jansen became the first ever player to appear in the same game for both teams. Jansen was in the Blue Jays lineup on June 26 versus Boston when the game was rained out during his at-bat. I'm Seth Everett.
The Mercedes-Benz Dream Days are here with exceptional offers on the CLE Coupe, E-Class Sedan, C-Class Sedan, and CLE Cabriolet. Going on now through September 3rd. Learn more. MBUSA.com/dream.
Touchdown. So after spending over 3 minutes in the red zone on this drive, Hall finally punches it in for Arizona.
Hassan Hall with the 2-yard TD run. That was the only touchdown as the Cardinals fell to the Broncos 38-12. When you look at the two quarterbacks, Clayton Tune, he finished 12 of 18, 119 yards with a pick, while Desmond Ritter was 10 of 16 for 111 yards. Ritter, however, was in the concussion protocol after a late hit late in that game. Tune went back in and unfortunately threw a pick six, which was not good to end the game. But joining us now to talk about it, Rudy Carpenter, former Sun Devil and NFL quarterback. You can always follow him on Twitter at RudyGCarp12. Rudy, as you look at the two quarterbacks right now, and if you had to make a decision, I know it's a small sample size, who would you lean towards as your number two of those two?
Yeah, I agree with you. It's a small sample size, and because of that small sample size, I would probably lean in the direction of Desmond Ritter, especially because he's had starter experience when he was in Atlanta. He got into some games, played, understands what the regular season game speed is like. And I also think, too, that he's a little bit better of a runner than Clayton Tune. And obviously with Kyler Murray as your starter, would like somebody in that backup role who you can put in the game and try to keep the offensive system pretty much the same and have the same play call sheet, and still have, you know, your entire playbook available to use in a game.
Rudy, with that being said, are you surprised Ryan Tannehill hadn't been picked up? Because I think a lot of folks, I mean, I'm like you. Okay, Desmond Ridder got the experience, but he's still, is he the end-all, be-all when you got a guy like Ryan Tannehill that's out here, that's been out there, that maybe you bring in as a last-second situation?
Well, I think the Ryan Tannehill situation is I don't think it's based on his skill level and you know, not being good enough to play in the NFL. I think part of the issue is Ryan Tannehill, throughout the course of his career, has been someone who has not handled being a backup quarterback very well. He's a guy that has a very large ego and has a very high opinion of himself. And he's a guy that wants to be paid starter money. He wants to be treated like a starter, and he still believes that he is a starter. And so I think there's a lot of teams out there that are worried about bringing in that attitude and putting it into the mix of their quarterback. In the NFL, you know, if you're a backup quarterback, it's really, really, really important that you kind of get in line and you understand who you are. You understand what your role on the team is, and you understand that a big part of your job as a backup quarterback is to, you know, support the starter and do everything you can to help the starter be the best player he can be on Sundays. And I think, you know, Tannehill's had a little bit of a hard time with that. Personally, based on the Russell Wilson situation and Justin Fields situation, I would try to trade Justin Fields over Russell Wilson to get something for those guys. You're like the Minnesota Vikings, you know, you just had J.J. McCarthy go down. Maybe you look at your starter in Sam Darnold and maybe you wonder, hey, does it make sense to go trade for Russell Wilson and bring him in here and try to give ourselves a chance to make a run if Sam Darnold gets hurt or if he just doesn't play very well? And then, you know, Arthur Smith is the offensive coordinator in Pittsburgh, and he was the guy that Ryan Tannehill had his best seasons with in Tennessee, and it'd be a seamless transition to bring Ryan in Pittsburgh, an offense he already knows, and allow him to go to work. So that was a situation that made sense to me. As far as the Cardinals go, I think they're probably just happy. They understand that Kyler Murray's their starter, their franchise guy. If he gets hurt, it's going to be another year like last year. It doesn't matter who your backup is. The Cardinals roster's not good enough to do anything without Kyler Murray.
Rudy Carpenter's our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. All right, Rudy, because I didn't see anything from any of the backup QBs, and I also struggled to see really anything that positive out of the Cardinals in those three games. Look, I get it. It's preseason. They're not showing anything. A lot of starters didn't even sniff the field. I understand that. But that does give fans some angst as far as what they expect of this team. Do you believe that they can walk into Buffalo and flip the switch in game one?
I don't think any NFL teams are capable of doing what you just said, which is flip the switch. Maybe the Kansas City Chiefs are a team that can stumble around a little bit and flip the switch and all of a sudden, you know, get right back to their dominant winning ways. But I think in general, for all NFL teams, it's very, very hard to flip that switch, to go from not playing very well to all of a sudden playing well. Like you said, I totally understand it's the preseason and teams aren't playing their starters and they aren't showing, you know, their capabilities on offense and defense. But at the same time, it's not like this Arizona Cardinals roster is is a dominant roster. So in my viewpoint, it's going to be a good test week one. I do think that parity is good in the NFL. I mean, we see it every year where 8-8 teams make the playoffs. And so, the parity in the NFL is really good. You never know who's going to win on a week in or week out basis. But with that being said, from top to bottom, I think if Jonathan Gannon and Monty Austinfort were drinking some truth serum, I think they would both tell you that this roster is not good enough to win 10 games or make a playoff push in the NFC West.
Yeah, Rudy, it's, you watch these games. You watch all those games in national football. A lot of second, third teamers are playing. Guys are scoring left and right, the backups. Cardinals have put 4 touchdowns on the board in 3 preseason games. And you look at the depth, defense, offensive-wise. Does that pause you for any kind of concern if people start going down on this Cardinals team?
Yeah, I mean, it's always difficult in the NFL, really at any position, when your starter goes down and you're playing backups or young guys. There's always a major drop off. Some positions you can hide better than others, right? Like interior offensive linemen, you can kind of hide those guys a little bit. Sometimes you can hide the tight end position a little bit, the running back position, but when you have guys go down at your skill spots like quarterback or your number 1, number 2 wideouts, or especially your edge guys, your offensive tackles, those are all guys that can get exposed, really, really easily. You would love to see situations where, the Cardinal starters are playing well when they're in the game. And then when the backups go in, they are also playing well. And that way it shows you that everybody is executing at a high level. Everybody understands what they're trying to get accomplished in each situation, in each preseason game. But like I said, in my viewpoint, I just really don't believe that this Cardinals roster, top to bottom, is anywhere ready to compete in the NFC West.
Rudy, you look at the Patriots. Why would you not start Drake May when looks like for all intents and purposes the Patriots aren't going anywhere fast this year? I know I get the whole Jacoby Brissett, the veteran, and this. Kid's played, I think, fairly well. Why would you not start him when you basically I'm going to call it a throwaway year for the Patriots?
Well, look, I see the argument on both sides of, hey, Peyton Manning type situation where it's like, if you're not going to be a good roster, sometimes the best thing you can do is throw your guy out there and let him get valuable reps when the pressure is off. There's no pressure to win. Everybody understands that you're not going to win. The roster's not ready to win. The coaching staff there probably is not ready to win yet. So, hey, it makes a lot of sense to throw the young guy out there and let him go see every type of look. Let him get a bunch of reps in just first and second down offense. Let him get a ton of reps in third down offense where he can go, third and short, third medium, third long, third and extra long, and see all the crazy exotic defensive fronts and exotic blitzes and exotic coverages that all the defenses are going to throw his way. And, I've said on this show many times that really the only way to learn playing the quarterback position is to get out there and play it and to take your lumps and to make your mistakes and to constantly learn. People talk about, well, you can learn as the backup. You can definitely learn as the backup, but you're going to learn much quicker when you're the guy out there as the starter seeing the looks. But I also think there's an argument to be made. I mean, it's a really long NFL season. As a quarterback, you can get punished physically and mentally when you're playing on a team that may not be great. And I think if you're the New England Patriots, the absolute last thing you want to do is to absolutely destroy Drake May's confidence. And to me, that can happen. And I think we've seen it. And I think we've recently seen it with a guy like Zach Wilson, who got out there with a team that I mean, if you want to say Jets were good, bad, whatever. But the point is that he didn't play well, and he was getting teed off on, and the national media was crushing him, and the spotlight was just on him heavy every single week. And I think ultimately it was really, I just think his confidence was crushed.
As we let you go
himself anymore.
Hey, real quick, Rudy, before I started to cut you off there, you dropped a little bit there. But when you look ahead to Saturday night with the Sun Devils, Cowboys are in town, Wyoming, aside from a win, what would you like to see? What would you really like to kind of take away other than, of course, a win?
I think it's really important early in the season to see action, a smooth operation in and out of the huddle on offense and defense, executing on offense, then being able to execute plays, no free rushers to the quarterback on defense, executing what's being called, not allowing, secondary blitz or secondary busts or things of that nature. And then I think always something you can always control is you want to see your guys compete their asses off.
Rudy, thank you as always, buddy. Have an outstanding week. We'll look forward to talking to you on Monday of next week, and hopefully we're talking about an ASU win.
All right, good.
Rudy Carpenter joining us here as they just named their quarterback, Evan Svoboda, who had some little bit of success last year and one career start, leading the Cowboys to a 10-10 tie in the fourth quarter against then number 3 Texas last fall. He also pioneered the game-winning drive in the Arizona Bowl when the former quarterback got hurt. They have a brand new offensive coordinator, formerly of Michigan State, play caller Tim Pulaski, I believe is how you say his name. Jay Johnson, who was at Michigan. He replaced Tim Pulaski, who is now the head coach at North Dakota State. So you can't take these Cowboys lightly.
Well,
you just can't.
And I think Svoboda, I missed him. I think he was a graduate from either Red Mountain or Mountain View from the East Valley. I'll double check, but I think he's out of the East Valley. Big kid, about 6'5".
How many kids, again, real quick, I know we got to go break. How many kids did you count on Friday that are playing D1 football?
16.
Quarterbacks.
And there's another 4 or 5 playing FCS. So it's about 21. I think we had 8 starting, should be starting this week.
That's amazing.
Listen to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B here on Fox Sports 910.
This is what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
The Cardinals performed their first wave of roster cuts with the release of cornerback Delonte Hood plus 5 others. The deadline to get the roster down to 53 is Tuesday. The Mercury are back in action tonight versus the WNBA best New York Liberty. The Mercs signed Monique Billings for the rest of the season. The Diamondbacks get today off out of their series sweep of the Red Sox in Boston. They'll put their 6-game win streak on the line tomorrow against the Mets. Eduardo Rodriguez slated for the start. College football gets started on Saturday. ASU hosting Wyoming. Arizona entertaining New Mexico. I'm Seth Everett on Fox Sports 910. Available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For tonight, look for mostly clear skies, temperatures dipping down into the low 80s. And then for your Tuesday, another warm day with temperatures slightly above those seasonal averages, topping out at 108 degrees with mostly sunny skies. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Total Wine & More. Always find what you love at Total Wine & More. With so many bottles at the lowest prices in 30 years, it's easy to find your favorite Cabernet or a new single-barrel bourbon to try. Find what you love and love what you find. Total Wine & More. Spirits not sold in Virginia and North Carolina. Drink responsibly. B21.
Kick off the football season with Twin Peaks, Roc, Manuch, Jimmy B, and Fox Sports 910 for our fantastic tailgating sweepstakes. Text PEAKS to 59925 for your chance to win a Traeger grill, Blackstone griddle, and more. No purchase necessary. Details at rockandmanuch.com.
Rock for WrightToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
It's Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing and your sexy status roof guy on Instagram and Facebook. Lesser roofers cut corners, cobbling together patchwork roofs to meet a budget, not State 48 Roofing. Give us a call today for your maintenance, repair, or full replacement needs.
Whether you're looking for a bay window awning over a breakfast nook, a shade sail or structure in your home or business, a retractable awning for your patio, or roll curtains for your screen room, the House of Canvas and Fine Wrought Iron has what you need. Beat the heat this summer and get covered by Arizona's #1 rated shade experts. Visit thehouseofcanvas.com. House of Canvas, family owned and making shady deals in the Valley for over 40 years. That's thehouseofcanvas.com.
I'm Tiffany, founder of Harlem Pilates. When I couldn't find Pilates in my neighborhood, I started a studio from my studio apartment. Chase Inc. helped me grow from 1 Pilates studio to 3. Because when you start small, you're going to need some big help.
With the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card, you can earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Sarah Spain for iHeart Women's Sports.
Presented by eBay Motors.
In soccer, the Orlando Pride set the NWSL record for longest unbeaten streak with a 1-0 win over the Houston Dash on Friday night, extending their run to 18 straight games without a loss. Meantime, Washington Spirit rookie midfielder Croy Bethune tied the NWSL single-season assist record this weekend. She now has 10, putting her square with the great Tobin Heath. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcasts.
eBay Motors is here for the ride with the parts you need at the prices you want. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they're guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time, or your money back. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Now back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, live from the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Dive into parlays, futures, and prop bets on all your favorite sports. Catch every moment on one of our 46 stunning 4K screens. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar, your sports fans' paradise. He played 8 seasons with the Arizona Cardinals. The Sandman.
It is caught! Touchdown Auburn! Sanders caught it! Touchdown Auburn! Touchdown Auburn!
Frank Sanders joins Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch, now on Fox Sports 910.
All right, Sandman, biggest takeaway from yesterday. Biggest takeaway against this Bronco team in a 38-12 loss.
That we got a hell of a kicker in Matt Prater.
A 50, a 24. I mean, that's going to get you in the playoffs.
How sad is that, Frank?
Oh, Frank, way to poke some fun at your team. Jeez.
Man, it's the reality, man. I went back and looked at it. I was like, man, hell, the MVP of the preseason is Matt Prater. Like, we totaled out 39 points. You know, we totaled out 39 points as a team, and other teams, our opponents had 65 points. You know, 0-3 is not a good feeling. Of course, that was not the goal. I hope that wasn't the goal going into the preseason, but getting guys some reps. Look, Clayton Tune got as many reps as he needs to have an opportunity to prove that he deserves to be the backup. But there were times where they both looked very average, him and Ritter. So it wasn't like it was something pretty special. That's a massive fall off between what we think Kyler can do and what those two guys as backups can probably do. But I mean, when I look at it, that preseason did not look good at all. I don't think that probably was the goal, but we came out, man, and now it's time to kind of get things rocking and rolling where, you know, you're moving toward getting your roster situated.
Frank, I brought that up earlier. Only 4 touchdowns in 3 preseason games. And you had the second, third teamers going against each other. I mean, you put Rock, me, Jimmy B, you put Jax out wide. I'm mixing a completion. I think we could have scored 4 touchdowns. And Frank Sanders incorporating there, I mean, put a team together and scored 4 teams against second, third teamers, don't you think?
That wasn't good, man. You know, funny thing about it is when you look at how far, like the rosters they're playing, 91 players, and then they're going to drop the roster to about 53 or 65 to 53 as a total. But 65 is the real number when you add in, you know, the practice squad players. You're letting go about 30 players. Those are the players that played. If you look at it from that perspective. And so I guess it's just that preseason was really an evaluation period for teams to look at other players as you add in more games in the regular season. So a lot of guys got a lot of reps that probably would have never done that in the past if you go back 4 or 5 years and you take away the CBA and some things that had to happen. But there's a lot of reps by a lot of guys that was late round draft picks and some free agents pickup.
All right, Frank Sanders, our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Frank, with what you just stated about the two QBs and about how the drop-off is immense from QB1, Kyler Murray, if indeed there's somebody who pops up, who gets waived coming up by tomorrow, who you believe is a veteran-type QB, do you reach out to them right away and say goodbye to the other two or not?
You know what? My only concern with that is, and I would say yes as a player in that locker room, because I want to make sure that if something happens to Kyler, there's not a significant drop off, and that we got guys that we can plug and play with. I would think that, but I know that there's this little thing that quarterbacks have, and it's called an ego, and they don't want anyone that they feel they can threaten them at that position. Now, it might not just be the quarterback thing, but it might be something in management where you don't want to really cause a lot of threat to your number one guy, because it just seems like it becomes two voices in the huddle is not good. And so I think that would be my only concern, Jimmy B. But in my heart of hearts, man, watching what I saw between Clayton and Ritter over these last couple of games, I think that we need somebody that if something happens to Kyler, you need to know that you got a guy you can replace and plug and play with.
Well, I think that the sentiment in that locker room would be, hey, great, let's pick somebody up that can fill in admirably and as a starter if Kyler goes down. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that whatsoever, because guys aren't stupid. You know how they are in the locker room. Oh, man, well, if Kyler goes down, we got these two versus, hey, we got so-and-so if he comes in knowing his role. He's a backup, but if so-and-so comes in, and if we get on a roll or we play good, we know that this guy can pick up the slack and manage a game without having all these question marks in a lot of players' minds. Don't you think?
You know what? That would work extremely well to me if we had already had a proven quarterback in Kyler, and the offense had been running extremely well the last couple of years. But Kyler's coming off an injury and maybe this, maybe seven game performance that wasn't amazing, but it was decent. And so to me, I feel like, when you have veteran leadership, it makes a difference. But when you look at New England and their situation, only because they have a veteran quarterback versus a rookie quarterback. When you look over at Pittsburgh, a veteran quarterback versus a young quarterback in Fields, it becomes a conversation piece where he can do this, he can do that. And it becomes kind of like a scatterbrain situation. And unfortunately, those little things do play a part in a locker room if one guy is not doing extremely well. So I expect Kyler to be Kyler, and I expect him to be great, but we know for a fact there's a difference between what he's able to do and what Clayton Tune and Ritter can do. And again, that's just that in my that I know what locker room lawyers look like when they come in and saying we start pitching for that guy or pitching for this guy, and it causes problems like that. But I would agree with you. Having as many weapons as you in your holster as you can, it always bodes well in the end.
All right, Frank, as we look at the wide receiver corps, Marvin Harrison, Michael Wilson, Greg Dortch, Zach Pascal, and then Xavier Weaver right now, you could say projected as the 5 there. Do you feel that they need to add a veteran wide receiver in that group? Sterling Shepard was released today by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Do they need a guy like that level, someone that's been in the league for a while, or you think this is who they're going to go with?
I think this is who they're going to go with. I mean, most of these guys didn't even play. The only person that really got some true reps in the preseason was Weaver, and he looked nice. I like his skill set. I think he brings something nice to the table. He could be a nice little slot guy go out and make some plays in that situation. But I'm looking at what they have right now. See, they seem to be very confident in the players that we have, and I don't think that they're going to touch a veteran wide receiver right now. Just doesn't seem like that. But I do like what we have. We just haven't seen it, unfortunately. I like the names that we got. If you told me if I walked into that huddle, if I walked in that huddle and I looked around and I know the names and I know what these guys are capable of athletically, I would be okay with these guys. I would look around and say, you know what? I got JC, I got my boy Harrison, I got Wilson, I got my tight end, I got my big lineman. So I think, okay, we got Kyler too. We can make some plays. In my mind, that's how I would see it.
So on paper,
I think we will.
So on paper, Frank,
It's on
they
paper.
look good on paper. But you haven't seen them
Yeah,
play
on
like you
pa-
just said. But you're okay with it, but you saw on paper. You need to join our fantasy league this year. Because on paper, you may have a good team, but they got to play on Sunday for you to get points to win.
I don't deny that the teams that we have not played. The guys do need reps, but there are some situations right now where I'm looking at it like they must know something that we don't know because we haven't seen it. They must be very confident what Marvin Harrison can do because they didn't let him play. And I don't know why they didn't let him play, but they didn't play him. And also with your boy Wilson, he didn't get as many reps, but he needs
1 minute.
And I would think he needs the reps. But something about this situation just seems like the Cardinals made a decision that we're not going to risk running these guys like we want them to run them or play these guys the way versus other teams. And that to me was absolutely a surprise. But when I look at the names and the skill set of what they bring to the table, I'm happy with it. And I believe these guys can go out and make plays. We'll just have to see it happen on Sunday.
Frank, as we let you go, next week we'll start talking some Auburn Tigers with you, right? I mean, have you kind of looked at this team yet, or you're about a week away to really kind of diving down this depth chart to see how well they're going to do?
I'm 3 weeks away, man. I'm still trying to look at the financial reports of our NILs that we got on our team right now and how serious our guys are.
Love it. Have a good week, buddy. Thank you. That was good.
All right, brother. Love you guys.
Frank Sanders joining us here on the Right to It guest line. I appreciate him taking some time as he does each and every Monday. And he is brought to you today by All City Towing. They are hiring, and all you need to do is go to allcitytowing.com. Go to allcitytowing.com. They have plenty of jobs available to you. So if you are looking to take your career to the next level, visit them online at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is on the move. We did see a move today as Malik Willis has been traded to the Green Bay Packers from the Tennessee Titans for a 2025 7th-round pick. So Jordan Love's backup will be him as they tried a summer-long competition with Sean Clifford. No luck there. And rookie Michael Pratt. So you do look at that on paper.
Sure.
You needed to make a move there.
Manuch, did you like Willis at all when he was in for the Tennessee Titans?
He's a good athlete, strong arm, just
Yeah.
needs to play real raw. I mean, I think that this move to put, to back up Jordan Love, I would still question that as far as if he's going to be the backup.
Right.
I don't know if that's a great move. I'd rather more of an experienced guy. Now, if the
Can you
Packers
tell me where Malik Willis played college? Don't you say.
Oh, man. Tennessee?
No, Liberty.
Very good with it, dude. You're going to get a star today.
What?
You're getting a star.
Oh, my God.
Well, congratulations. We'll be back with more Roc and Manuch and the Jimmy B, the big Jimmy B, the star today.
Valley traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
101 Agua Fria Freeway southbound off-ramp to Camelback Road is closed due to an accident. We also have an accident, 101 Pima Freeway, westbound off-ramp to 7th Avenue. That accident is off to the right.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Time with family, laughs with friends, and cash back. Discover's got you covered on the last one. That's because Discover doubles all the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cash Back Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Ready for some football? Join our annual Pro Football Pick'em contest today. You could win $5,000 and amazing prizes from Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light. Don't miss out on the excitement. Head to fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com.
Over the years, Lerner Rowe has helped over 150,000 injured people recover billions of dollars for their injuries and over $1 billion in the last 5 years alone. What does that mean to you when you're looking for an attorney to handle your personal injury case? That means that Lerner Rowe is a law firm that not only has experience, but the proven results to recover money for your injuries. The insurance companies know which attorneys won't put up a fight. When you call us, we call them, and they know they have to pay.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Looking to win some cash? Who isn't? Join Roc, Manuch, and Jimmy B for their 24th year hosting the Monday Night Tailgate. Each week, you could win $9,100. That's the Monday Night Tailgate at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona.
Join the team at the largest towing company in the state, All City Towing. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service personnel. Enjoy benefits like the state's most advanced towing equipment, set work schedules, a healthy 401k employer match, health benefits, employer-paid life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Ready to take your career to the next level? Visit us at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is on the move.
Baby boomers and retirees, protect yourself from the coming tidal wave of higher taxes. This administration's spend and tax schemes with their failed economic policies are only going to create more taxes being taken from your retirement savings. National talk show host, wealth strategist, and best-selling author Chuck Oliver of The Hidden Wealth Solution will teach you why it is critical in this election year to learn to be retirement tax smart through proven solutions that could save you thousands in unnecessary taxes. Imagine removing the IRS from your IRA.
Yes, did you send me the link? If you did, I just missed it. It was a long weekend.
Protected.com.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, and great news. Good news.
You can email it to me. I think I saw something from you. It was just a long weekend and I didn't check my emails.
Bad news. Your neighbor leaned over a little too much and broke your fence. Dumb news. Somehow fence wood is more expensive than wood. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and to plant really tall shrubs. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Now back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, live from the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Dive into parlays, futures, and prop bets on all your favorite sports. Catch every moment on one of our 46 stunning 4K screens. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar, your sports fans' paradise. It's the Lerner and Rowe. One call, that's all. Call of the day. If you're looking for a full-service law firm, just make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
A chance for the guy who's hit more RBIs than any player in baseball since July 1st, Gino Suarez. Gino sends one out to left. Suarez at Fenway. And he's done it again. Hey, Eugenio Suarez. We know it's Gino. And it's
You're hot.
4 Diamondback.
Steve Berthium, great call, buddy. Nice job as the D-backs sweep the Red Sox. Will play the Mets tomorrow, then the Dodgers. A story that we did not get to today. You may have seen it, heard it, or maybe not. A group of 15 NFL players and staff members were stuck in a hot, packed elevator on Friday night for over 2 hours. It was the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yes.
They were in Dallas. Firefighters had to pull each one out one by one through a narrow ceiling panel to escape. It didn't matter because when they all got out, they played the Dallas Cowboys and beat them 26-19 as Trey Lance had 5 interceptions.
Oh, man.
Unbelievable.
I was listening to that game. I think last quarter.
Yeah.
Pick. Go back in. Pick. Now, he started off 7 for 8, the opening drive for the Cowboys. He had 4, so I changed the channel. I'm driving. I come back, and there's like a minute 46. Throws another one. Throws 5 interceptions. I think Cooks is going to be the backup to Dak Prescott, quite frankly. So
another story we missed today, the Big 12 and UConn look as though they're getting close to coming together as their newest expansion member. They were in Dallas last week. At the Big 12 athletic administrators are all convening there, and it looks as though that they could add UConn. I think they'd like it for the basketball, which would be nice.
Awesome.
But we'll see. UConn, it's contingent on a lot of things, but right now football could not start for a few years due to some of the rules they have in place. They said something like UConn football could join the Big 12 in 2031.
Wow.
But they could get all the other ones in there.
Oh, they could get basketball in right away? Okay.
Yeah. So,
and we would take them.
Oh, golly.
Talk about a hell of a basketball.
What a conference.
That's K-State.
He's still playing there.
He
still thinks he's playing.
Damn right, man. We would welcome them to the Big 12. Be the best basketball conference.
And last story, of course, on a football Monday, it's kind of tough. Keegan Bradley, he made it clear after he was surprisingly named the U.S. captain for the Ryder Cup in 2025 that he may actually earn a spot on his own the way that he's playing as he won the BMW championship. And I know he wouldn't give himself the captain's pick by himself, but how cool would it be for him to qualify as an automatic spot and then be able to do both, which has never happened before.
That'd be interesting to see how he would handle that, being the captain and also be part of the team. And
2 minutes.
you have your assistants helping you with that as far as where you're playing that. You have to kind of remove yourself, and as well as you're playing, going, well, wait a second, I'm playing damn good. I want to be here, here, and here. But you'd have to have probably a majority rule on that.
I would think so. In that tournament during the week, and they played it at 6,200 feet outside of Denver, Rory McIlroy hit a shot, and there's a creek by the right side of the fairway. His ball is sitting in a little piece of grass right next to the creek. He takes off his shoes, rolls his pants up, and stands in the creek on 2 rocks and hits it to within 8 feet of the pin. 8 feet of the pin. Unbelievable shot.
Hey, guys, our State Farm Roofing It's Your Call question of the day. Just go to @Roc and Manuch on Twitter. Does it concern you the Cardinals ended the preseason 0-3? Your answers are either no concern at all, somewhat concerned, or very concerned. Again, go to @Roc and Manuch on Twitter. No concern at all, 55.6%, but close. Somewhat concerned at 44.4%. Very concerned, 0%.
And as we close out the show, just a reminder, go to our website, rockandmanuch.com. Get in our 12-team college football predictor CFP championship. You predict all 12 teams, you can win 20 grand or 10 grand or 1,000. It's free. It's presented by Lerner Rowe and Wright Toyota. First 1,000 people to enter. Don't miss your shot. Deadline is Thursday.
30.
So get in when you can. So that's rockandmanuch.com. So special thanks to Frank Sanders, Rudy Carpenter, and Craig Bowie for joining us. Congratulations to Martin Mastro, won the tickets.
20.
We'll do more tickets tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, getting you ready for ASU Wyoming. So for our friends here at the CAZ Sportsbook, our home on Mondays.
10.
Thanks for showing up, Jax, for Shu, Manuch, Jimmy B. Great show.